slides?
I do. I'll send you them in a second. I just click confirm.
Hell yeah. No, you're good.
Okay. Hello, one and all, and welcome. We're back with Movie Club, and we're gonna have 2 of them next week as well. So I hope you're ready. We got a lot of discussions we gotta go with. But this week, for today, we have The Devil Wears Prada, and stick with me now, Avengers Endgame. We're gonna tie both of these movies together somehow. I still don't know how, but we will do it. I believe in us. But yeah, no, that's kind of it. We're welcome to Movie Club, same as usual. It's a Vtuber movie club where we get together each month, have 2 movies for each group, and we just watch them and we discuss them. We have a nice, good old time. And these 2 are whoever wants to go first.
You can go first.
Okay, yeah, sure, that's fine. Hello, my name is Aligar. I am the local gaming Doulahan, procurer of many oddities and conqueror of naps. So,
Hell yeah.
And I'm Nina Beton, and I'm your local Android assistant. Glad to be here.
Nice. Well, it's always good to have you 2. I'm excited. Also, I'm Treybon1. Hello. Everyone just calls me Trey. But, yeah, no, I just facilitate things. That's all I do. Everyone else has we all just have a fun discussion. So, that's about it. But, usually I start off with a question. Kinda was running as quickly as I could, getting these slides all together. I had to help move things, so these were all thrown on last minute. So I didn't come up with a question, but I'll think one now. We'll keep it simple. We're talking about superheroes, and I guess fashion. What's your favorite? Okay, I just came up with it. What's your favorite superhero fashion? Like, so not so it's not your favorite superhero
costume?
Yes. Who's your favorite superhero costume?
Honestly, I'm gonna be honest. Not a huge superhero fan.
That's okay.
Marvel tends to be, I think, the one that I'm most interested in as far as like characters. But for costumes,
I will allow you can put together your own costume. It doesn't have to be from an actual character. If you could make a superhero costume, what would it be?
Oh God. Okay, that's I feel like as a whole, that's a tough question on its own.
Good. That means we get
trying to figure out.
That means we get a good question.
To be honest, I think recently, okay, I'm gonna go with the more superhero kind of thing. I actually like what they have started to do with, which I've never read the comics, and I don't know if they changed like outfits in the comics or not, but Spider-Man. I like Spider-Man's outfit and the actual like versatility that has come from like a whole bunch of different characters wearing different types of like outfits that like match their culture, but they're all still like Spider-Man. Like especially what is it, the animated one Into the Spider-Verse?
Yeah.
The fact that you have like a whole bunch of different Spider-Mans, but they all meld together but are also like distinctly unique, I think is fun. I kind of like that aspect. I like the aspect of like if you have multiple of the same like hero or like same kind of general archetype of a character, but anybody that plays them has like their own unique touch to it. I kind of like that a little more than just like hey, here's a Superman costume that kind of looks the same and it's always been the same since, X, Y, and Z, but now we're just able to put like hyper fine detail onto it. So
yeah,
that's my take on it.
I love it. Have you seen Across the Spider-Verse?
Yes, it's on Netflix, guys.
Yes,
actually really good.
It's amazing. Please watch it, guys. Did you have like a favorite outfit of in that one, because I mean there's like a million of them.
I'm trying to think. It's been a while because I saw it in movie in theaters when it popped out, and I haven't really seen it since. Ooh. To be honest, I mean, I think it kind of matches his story and the fact that he's like been one of the most um hornified characters from that movie, but I really like, oh, what is his name? He's like
Is it Miguel?
yes,
So
Miguel. I like
Spider
Miguel's costume.
2099.
Yes.
That is a good
I've also
costume.
learned what his backstory is, and it's very interesting. And I was like, wow, that actually kind of fits his his like theme a little more, which
Yeah.
I think is cool.
I do hope they go a little bit more into his backstory in the next movie, because all we got was that he's kind of like a vampire. So I know he has like a really cool backstory, but I don't know it too well. But yeah, no, that's perfect. That's a great choice. Nina, you've had time. You got your answer?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Now that Alligator reminded me of Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, my second one would be Spider-Man Noir from the first movie.
Yeah.
And like my top favorite costume, if I don't know if he counts as a superhero, but Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider. Yeah, that counts as he's a Marvel
Ooh.
superhero, so he is in the Marvel universe. So no, that's a great choice. Him just being, I always liked his costume, just giving him like a leather jacket and fire skull, nice and simple. Doesn't need to be too overly complicated. No,
Yeah.
Sometimes simplicity is key.
it is. Yeah, I gotta agree. I love Spider-Man's outfit. I like a lot of his outfits in like the PS4 game that they released a few years ago. I think he had like a ton of good ones in that. Um, and I kind of like the Hulk, just have it literally just having like shorts on, and then I like Thor's like Norse god look. So I think those are all good.
Yeah, Marvel, I will say, does some crazy like costume design for their stuff. But
They
if
do.
I think, okay, craziest, okay, if we're talking costume design fast, craziest one I think is definitely Hunger Games. The Hunger Games like fashion capital is absolutely insane. The stuff that they do. But if we're talking about like costume design that I absolutely love and every outfit I feel like kind of hits, Game of Thrones. Game of
Game of Thrones,
Thrones, like the
yeah.
whole franchise has some really, really good costume design there.
Hey, Game of Thrones was great until that last season.
Yeah.
It's great until then. So
Oh, do you mind sending the link again for the Google
yeah, I
slides?
can send it.
Because I do not have access to it. This is like I gotta request it from you.
Okay. So sure, anyone with the link sounds good. You can be an editor. How about that?
Hell yeah.
Oh, wait,
There we
wait.
go. Okay. Hydrate, bitch!
Oh, hello. Sorry, I just kind of. Thanks, Nina. I'll drink right now. Ah, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, no,
Stay hydrated.
I do have to stay hydrated. That's a good point. But yeah, no, I think that's all good. I like those. I like all those fashion designs. I think most superhero movies nowadays have like really good costume design, and it's a little bit underappreciated at times. Uh, I'll say an honorable mention because I am a scientist. I'll go with Honey Lemon from Big Hero 6. She has a great costume incorporating her like little chemistry set into her bag. That's really fun. I really like that. I don't know if you guys have seen Big Hero 6, but
I forgot that movie existed for a second, but like I agree, the character designs were great in that movie.
they were. Oh. All right. Well, I think that was a great introduction. You guys ready to get into the presentation?
Let's go. I love
Okay.
this.
Let's
Let's
get
do it.
started.
Okay, first of all, audience, this was made in an hour and a half, because I was gonna do it earlier, but then I got busy. I had to help out around the house, so
Hey,
I had to move.
listen, that is
So,
totally fine. I felt so bad that I was like, shit, I've been so busy with work like these past couple of days. I'm like, fuck, I didn't do my job. This is my
no, you're
movie.
fine. It's fine. It's totally fine. Hell, I usually save the slides to last minute, so I've gotten used to putting them together more
No, we don't want that.
quicker. But we do have clips this week. We actually have quite a bit of clips. We have 7 for The Devil Wears Prada and 8 for Avengers Endgame. Tell you now, Avengers Endgame, I very much quickly made the character things. I did not even individualize them. I don't think I need to. I mean, if you've seen any of the Avengers movies, you know who these characters are. We'll still go over them, but it's not going to be as in-depth as the other one. But alrighty. So, we're starting The Avengers Wear Prada.
Ooh, see, that's
Yeah.
good title.
Yeah.
Aligar likes that.
It was a quick title. I couldn't figure out how to work in Endgame there, but it's fine. So, but yeah. So we're gonna start off with The Devil Wears Prada. I don't know of a good. I need to come up with like a method for so that you know when I'm clicking through slides. I wish that there would be a way that I could just like press the button and it like makes a sound for you to be like, oh yes, okay. But
I mean, only way I could see to do that is maybe like screen share it through Discord, but I
yeah.
feel like that's a whole extra step and hassle. It's all
It
good.
is, and then also my computer sometimes just doesn't want to work that way. It's okay, computer. You do a good job. You dirty. You are dusty though. Really need to fucking dust. I'm very bad at doing that. But yeah, we're starting off with Devil Wears Prada. It was released June 30th, 2006. Directed by David Frankel. I think that's how you say his name. And it stars Meryl Streep and Anne Hathaway. So, yeah, it's a pretty good cast. I actually like all the cast members, so. But yeah. We're gonna start off with the first character, which of course is gonna be Andy Sash. Sash, I think that's how you say her last name, played by Anne Hathaway. She's a new girl at the magazine who doesn't know anything about fashion, but still gets hired anyway to be the assistant of Miranda Priestly after impressing her at an interview. I find it really funny and also sad that they're all throughout the movie they're all like, oh, I hired the ugly fat girl. And I mean, and I just look at it's funny in the sense because it's Anne Hathaway, and then I'm just looking at it's like it's Anne Hathaway. She's beautiful.
Oh. No, it's actually it's crazy. Like, I mean, I guess you could say like the closest thing to this that like you actually see in real life is like America's Next Top Model and stuff, like the type of fashion and stuff that they go through, and it's like the body types and the fact that it wasn't until like maybe in the last 5 years they actually started to add guys to the show instead of it just being like your very tall, slender, and kind of like long body like proportion girls and stuff that go through it.
Yeah, and like I said, it's insane that they're all like, oh, Anne Hathaway is ugly. I'm all like, no, she's not. She's
Like,
very
if
pretty.
she's fat, then I'm obese then.
I know, right? Me too.
Yeah.
So like fuck.
I know, because they talk about it too with the other character. There's like a scene which I don't know if you have it to where it's like Andy basically goes like, "Oh my gosh, you look like so well," and then the other receptionist goes, "Oh my god, you noticed? Thank you. I am on this new diet where I only eat one block of cheese, and it's like not even just like a block; it's like a little tiny like cube, and that's it." And I'm like, "Oh
Yeah.
my god, I could never."
I know, right? I'm all like, I like that they're all like, "You're really eating a bagel," and I'm all like, "It's a bagel, guys."
Yes.
Yeah. And it's like, it's just like insane. And once again, it's Anne Hathaway, and all I can see,
Mhm.
all I could see is Princess Diaries like throughout this movie, and
You
it
know
kind
what? Same.
of has the same
Actually,
plot too.
same.
So, but anyway, we can go on to the next character now. We got Miranda Priestly, played by the amazing Meryl Streep, who, yes,
I love her character.
I did have to Google how to spell Meryl. I'm not the best at spelling. I added an extra E at the end. But yeah, no, I love Meryl Streep. She's been in a million things. The main thing I remember her from, other than this, is Mamma Mia. Plays the mom.
Oh, you know what? Yes, I know her from that
Mm-hmm.
one. See, I thought you were gonna say it was it like the live action of 101 Dalmatians. I, actually, I swear to God,
Is
I
she
feel like I
that?
hope I'm not getting this wrong. I think so. Hold on,
Yeah.
I gotta
I mean,
IMDb
that works
this.
too. If it is true, then I
Hold on,
also
hold
agree
on,
with
hold
that.
on. No,
But
I feel like I'm just spreading fake news.
I'm like picturing her. I don't think it is.
I don't think it is, but wait, no, hold on.
You got this. You got this.
It's not. Fuck.
Okay. I
Hold on, there's
mean,
another movie.
there's
I
an
swear to
she
God.
plays the witch in Into the Woods. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's. I didn't like. Okay, what's your opinion of Into the Woods, real quick? Quick tangent, guys. I didn't really enjoy it. I was fine with like the first half of the movie, and then it goes on for another hour.
So I went into it thinking like, oh my god, this is gonna be like, it's gonna be a satire of fairy tales. I didn't realize it was a freaking musical, and I
Yeah.
hated it.
Yeah, I didn't. Me and I went with my my friend's family, and me and him did not know it was a musical. We're just all like, "Oh yeah, we'll go to the movies," and we sit there and the songs start, and the songs weren't bad. My favorite song was "Agony" with Chris Pine and the other prince. I don't remember who it was. That's like the
That was
only
so
song
good.
I really enjoyed. But one like they had their I get that it I don't they kind of threw all that satire stuff in the back half of the movie, because the first half is literally just kind of the fairy tales,
Yeah.
and then the satire comes after. But by that point I was all like, it's we still got like another hour of this movie. So
Hmm. Yeah. No. Okay. So correction: the movie that I really liked her in, which I thought was it's wrong because I'm dumb, is Death Becomes Her.
okay,
If
I've
you've
heard
ever
of that.
seen that.
I have not seen it, but
It
I've heard of it.
is it is a very old movie and it's so good and it's so fun. I love it.
Yeah.
Mwah. Beautiful. Ugh.
But I love Meryl Streep. She's great. She's a great actress. Won plenty of like a few Oscars, I believe, at this point. But it, but her character in this, she is the boss of the magazine, who is in fact a bit of a devil to work with. But she makes the magazine so popular because of it. She hires Andy as a test to see if she can really make her a good assistant. I don't know if that was the actual reason. Once again, I wrote this really quickly. I just wanted to make it make sense. So I don't actually remember why she hires her, but I mean, I guess because she's like a little defiant or whatever. But I don't know. Yeah, that's Meryl. What'd you guys think of Meryl?
I love her character.
I do too, but she's a bit of a bitch.
Yeah. Which I think that's the appeal of it, is it's kind of like you have basically the two polar opposites, to where someone who's been in the fashion industry for so long and
Knows what they're doing.
yeah, knows what they're doing, and even if like you don't like their attitude, like you don't have to like them. You
No.
just have to recognize that it's like she knows what she's doing, and it's like her viewpoints and her I guess like artistic kind of fashion is what makes like it all like trickle
Yeah,
down. Mm-hmm.
yeah, makes sense. And though I will say the phrase "a bit of a bitch" kind of goes with all characters in this movie. At one point, everyone is a little bit of a bitch. So,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and yes, that even means Andy as well. Uh, did you like Miranda, Nina?
I think she was okay. I feel like she could have been developed a little bit more. For example, if this was a show instead of a movie, I feel like it would have been like executed better.
I agree with you. I think they kind of threw like most of her like human like traits instead of her like devil traits at the end, especially like with the divorce and stuff like that. We'll go deeper. Well, I don't have the clip from it, but we'll go deeper into it later. But like when she gets divorced and stuff like that, she that's kind of like one of the only times we see her be human instead of the devil that she is. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, alrighty. We'll go to the next one. We got Emily Charlton. Charlton, I'm so great at speaking. Played by Emily Blunt. I love when uh I love when like shows and movies do this where they make the actor like just have their
Play it.
name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just like that. And also Anne Hathaway Anne is very close to Andy,
To
so
Andy.
like it's fun that they did that. Um,
Oh yeah.
but yeah, she's the first assistant to Miranda. She's surprised the HR hired Andy at first, but after seeing how dedicated she can be, she slowly begins to form a friendship with Andy. And
Yeah.
I love it.
Very, very basic friendship.
Very
Like
basic.
very
I
bare
don't think
bones,
it's
but it's
even a
kind of
friendship.
like a
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
It's more
It's kind of like
acquaintances.
Yeah.
yeah, it's like a fashion world kind of acquaintance of like, oh yeah, I know who you are, blah blah blah. We're on
Yeah.
nice like speaking terms.
They I don't know. I feel as though they do get a little bit more of a friendship, especially when after that big party with like all the fancy people and Andy helps her out, and then like Andy calls her. I don't know if it was the next day or like sometime later, and she's like all happy and being like, "Oh yeah, sorry, I'm running late, yada yada," and kind of like that conversation felt like more that they were friends and stuff like that. So, but obviously it immediately gets taken away. Um, but yeah, I think they get a little bit more friendshipy near the end. So yeah, alrighty. Did we like Emily? Did we hate Emily?
She was
I love
just mid for
She
me.
was mid. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I love all the characters in this movie because I feel like they showcase the part of the kind of like especially like high fashion personalities that they do and they put it up to like an extreme.
Yeah, they do.
So I enjoy like all of the banter, all of the like the jabs at one another, all of it. I love it.
I just like that it was Emily Blunt playing another Emily, who of course we know Emily Blunt from like A Silent Place and stuff like that. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah. Alrighty. Next we have my favorite character, Nigel, played by Stanley Tucci.
I love
He
Stanley Tucci.
I did too. He's a designer at the magazine. I think he's a designer at the magazine. Once again, I wrote this quickly. And while he can be a real bitch at times, he is the best character and is Andy's best friend. He gives her advice and helps her out when she needs it, but will still give a passive aggressive response in return. I love Nigel. I would do anything to protect Nigel. And I'm sad that he gets hurt later on in the movie. That we will definitely be going over.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I always like the first scene that Nigel was in. I really enjoyed him because he is that very like he's very blunt and like in your like to your face really like quickly and stuff like that. So and he also doesn't pull his punches even if you're like a friend of his. So
Yeah, he's like, I guess you could say he's kind of like Andy's guide and mentor, especially through this, because she, like,
yeah,
when she walks into this world, she is just trying to get a job at a like at another, it's like it's not a fashion magazine, it's like an actual like editorial
Journalism?
spot. Yeah, it's like a
yeah, journalism.
journalism job, and so it's like she only applies for this job because she's trying to get a journalism, and it's like everybody knows Miranda, and she's like, oh yeah, this is just a step to like the next place or whatever, and she doesn't really understand fashion in the beginning, nor does she really care. And then it's like Nigel is the person who definitely guides her through it and goes like, every choice that is made like in this place and is approved by Miranda not only just affects as like a, oh, that looks really cool to other like high fashion designers, but it's like colors and like prints and like all these different like things that Miranda approves then trickle down into like everybody else. And like he talks
Yeah,
about, I think, is it Miranda? I think at one point Miranda, which you might have the scene, it's like they're looking at a whole bunch of stuff and it's like Andy laughs, and then Miranda goes into
oh
this whole
yeah,
entire thing of how her like how she pieced together her whole entire outfit. And it's like,
hmm
you think that fashion is funny, but in reality the color that you were wearing you know, with that sweater was made by us and designed by us, and it's like everything trickles down.
yeah. Don't worry, I have that scene in there, so
I love that one.
it is a great scene. So I there's like three. They like go on quite a few different speeches in this movie, and I think I have all three of them. So
Beautiful.
yeah. So, but no, I agree. I do love that scene, and I can't wait to go more in depth when we actually watch it. But yeah, no. Nigel as just a character is great. I think he's really fun. You could see like he has his moments of just like happiness and stuff like that, and then he also and I like that he kind of like whenever he sees Andy, he kind of just like sighs almost. Like you could just see that he's like, oh god damn, I'm gonna have to fix something and all that, and I just love it. But, yeah. All right, you want to go on the next one?
Yes, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready to get to the clips.
Okay.
If I don't know if you have another person.
We do have one more person. This is the
Ooh.
last person.
Ooh, yes.
My
Him.
favorite.
Yes. And if you're wondering, oh, why don't I have her boyfriend or anything like that? You know what? He sucks. All right, I hate it. That boyfriend was boring. All right. I like Christian Thompson better, played by Simon Baker, who is the Mentalist, by the way. I googled that. I don't know if you guys ever watched the show The Mentalist. I haven't, but I've seen his. It is your favorite show? I've never seen it, but I know his face, so I was all like, I had to Google where he was from.
Would recommend. It was very fun.
Okay, I definitely will. Anyway, Christian here is a journalist that Andy really likes, and throughout the movie, you can tell that they are flirting with each other, but Andy has a boyfriend. He helps her get a copy of unreleased Harry Potter book at the time. So, which was actually kind of a funny scene in this movie. I do not have her having to run around getting the book, but I did actually like that scene just because it's all like you have to do something that is literally impossible. But she like just so happened to meet this guy who likes her, and so she's able to like do it. It's pretty fun. Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, you good?
Yeah, no, we're good. We're good. Sorry.
Okay. But but yeah, no. I liked Christian. I know he probably was trying was supposed to be like an antagonist or something, but I just never really got that. I never felt like that he was like evil.
No, I wouldn't say he's evil. He was more of like so I think with this movie you get the idea that Andy is torn between two worlds, right? The world of like your commonplace man that's like trying to like, you know, work it out versus versus like the high
High
fashion
fashion
world. And it's like,
people.
oh, if you want to
Yeah.
get to know people in this industry, you have to go through this and this. And he, I feel like, is it's not a love triangle, but it's kind of like you have these two choices that Andy has that are romantic interests. She can either A, go with the boyfriend that she's always been with, who is like struggling to kind of support her
Mm-hmm.
in her goals, or you can go with somebody who's part of the world she's trying to become, but isn't necessarily like he's in it for the connection, not the not the romantic side of stuff. And so it's kind of like you have these two love interests of who is better. Do you want the supportive boyfriend or the person who doesn't really have a romantic interest in you but is just trying to look for connections because you're the right hand man um of Miranda, you know? So
I don't know. I felt like he actually did like her though. Like,
I mean it was like a little bit, but I feel like it's not like what is it? It's not like boyfriend love, you know?
yeah,
Like
I
it's
get.
like work love.
I don't know. I think me and you have different opinions on that. I think he loved her, or at least liked her a lot. I think he wanted a relationship, but hey, that's the
I
entire
think
point
it
of
was
these
more
movies.
physical attraction as well.
That could have been also
You
true.
know, Nina does make a good point, you know.
She did, yes, she does make a good point. We can both be right in this situation, so
We'll
uh
just have to agree to disagree.
disagree. Yeah. But I don't know, I liked him. I thought it was fun. Her boyfriend was he was a bit of a bitch, but in a different sense. Like, I don't know, like there's being a bitch, and then there's being a you're being a bitch. Also,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that a lot, and I'm really sorry. So it's just how I kind of describe a lot of this movie. So
Yeah, anybody in high fashion is part devil. You gotta start somewhere apparently.
it's true. So okay, let's get to the clips. We could do this. Let's go. So the first clip we got, I titled "Meryl Streep is to be feared." Uh, so we got Andy wants to be. It's basically the beginning of the movie, so don't worry about it. We got Andy wants to be a journalist but needs to pay rent, so she gets a job at a beauty magazine run by the devilish Miranda Priestly. Not knowing anything about fashion, Andy must impress Miranda with an interview. And so now you can start the clip. We got so this is the interview slash meeting Emily and Miranda for the first time. So I will say one thing that's like funny about like these fashion places and all that is that yes, the clothes are great, but if you look at the like it's such a bland office building. Like, I don't know. It's like it's very minimalist and just white walls. So I'm like, how are you getting inspired with this? Oh.
I love Stanley Tucci.
I do
He's in the
too.
Hunger Games and he's amazing.
He is in the Hunger Games, right? But literally them being like that, I can't even talk. Like they just like look at her and immediately judge her.
Yeah, I mean in fashion, it's like fashion it is what you dress before your personality. It is
Mhm.
looks before personality. And it's like if things aren't perfect, then it's like, well, what are you doing? Why are you
Yeah.
working here if you're not giving your 100%? It's kind of like that workaholic mentality.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I kind of like this sense that really it's mainly Miranda that's making them like dress like that, because you
Hmm.
see in that like quick cut scene that one, at least one of the employees like has on comfortable shoes and then puts on the
And
high
then she
heels.
swaps as, yeah.
So frankly, I'm always more into comfort. I would rather your feet not hurt, especially if you're gonna walk around a bunch. That wasn't a
I love it.
question.
She plays such a good sassy person.
She
Oh,
does. I do love that Nigel just comes in while they're having the interview. Okay, that line is a little rough there, Nigel. The are we doing a before and after piece that I don't know about? Like that's a little strong there. Right. What are you guys' thoughts on this scene in particular?
of what? Of this
Well,
scene?
yeah, well, just with this scene, like
Mm.
like costume design, just like you like the cinematography or anything like that.
I mean, I feel like the cinematography is kind of like there's no like special like kind of like shots or anything like that. But I
Uh,
do think that this scene definitely sets the tone for what it's like to work with Miranda. Like you were saying, that it's kind of like, oh, somebody was wearing comfy shoes, but like maybe still kind of in high fashion, and then they swapped to like these like stiletto high heels that are like they're at the in, they're not meant to be comfortable, they're meant to be fashion. And then it's like
mhm.
somebody's walking down the hallway and then Miranda's coming down the hallway, so they immediately like U-turn it and walk straight back, like trying not to get in her way, because it's like there are things that are set in motion, there are things that are meant to happen, and it's like to be in the way of Miranda is to like be a detriment to like the fashion industry.
Yeah. Uh, I do want to go once again over with the like the office, like the look of the office and stuff like that. Because it's funny because like I think it's a deep contrast of different um fields of work that it would be that would be um considered art. So you got architecture for the building and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that, and then you have the fashion with the clothes. Um, whereas for like I don't know, like the architecture of this, like I said, like for architecture, for some reason, what would be like a pretty office or anything like that is all like white walls, just a little bit of art on the and the things. Whereas like in the fashion industry with clothes and stuff, it's a lot more of, oh, let's be bold, like let's throw a bunch of color and like do something crazy with it instead of like I don't know, instead of just like trying to keep it simple. So it's I don't know. I find that interesting to myself. I don't know if that's an actual dialogue, but
Oop. Yeah. I I love this movie so much. I love the little like the jabs and stuff that goes on. It's so good. I also love the transformation from like Andy being like you see this kind of person who doesn't understand anything to being
mm-hmm.
like she is now like everything that you want her to be.
Yeah, and Nina, do you got anything with this scene?
To me it was very forgettable, so I have no comment.
Okay, all good. But yeah. So just a quick little introduction. We meet the boss, which is the title of the video, and we kind of get how everybody feels and stuff like that. So, but we can go on to the next one.
Tone.
It sets the tone. So,
Mhm.
but we can go on to the next clip, which is right. I titled it "The Adult Flame Book." That was the name of the book in Mean Girls, right? Like it was called.
Honestly, I've never seen Mean Girls, so
I've seen it once. I just don't. I think it was called The Flame Book. But this, like, this entire plot section made me think of. Well, this entire movie made me think just, oh, this is just adult Mean Girls, like with how they're supposed to be. They're all kind of like at each other's backs, even if they're friends, type thing. So, but anyway, so after getting the job, Andy realizes just how evil Miranda truly is. Running Andy ragged, Emily decides to tell Andy about the book, which holds all the notes and work that is going into the newest issue of the beauty magazine. Don't even remember what the magazine company was called.
excuse me.
So
yeah, I don't remember what it was.
I don't either. The thing is the camera.
It's a book.
Oh yeah, you could start the clip. By the way, sorry about that.
No, you're good.
Well, what if I need to? What? No. One time an assistant left the desk.
They have HD. Look at that. Beautiful, crisp, clean.
Missed Largfeld just before he boarded a 17-hour flight to Australia. She now works at TV Guide.
But yeah,
Man the desk at all times. Got it.
it's
Miranda
it's insane that it just goes to show how bad this place is to work. It's very toxic to work. Literally, you can't get up to go to the bathroom real quick. Just be like, hey, I gotta go to the bathroom. It's gonna go to voicemail once, maybe twice.
And you run errands, yet I'm in charge of her schedule, her appointments, and her expenses.
But
And most importantly, I get to go with her to Paris for Fashion Week in the fall. I get to wear couture. I go to all the shows.
I'm not gonna lie, I totally forgot that they established
Divine.
the fashion Paris week in Paris this early on.
Oh yeah, fashion. It's like I didn't realize this until like I worked in retail for a little bit.
Runway.
When they do fashion, it is like seasons before it ever comes out.
Yeah.
It is actually crazy.
Yeah.
If you are in the winter season, they're already selling clothes for like spring, and they're coming out with like next year's winter and like summer collection. Like it is insane how much forward into the future they are doing fashion.
Oh, Emily?
I think that's also funny because I don't know, I feel as though I don't think a lot of people follow fashion magazines, at least not anymore.
I'm at Miranda Priestly's office.
You know, I don't know either.
I don't know how popular fashion magazines are anymore.
No.
Okay, can you please spell Gabbana?
Like, I know, obviously back in the day it was before we had like Twitter and I can't believe I'm gonna say TikTok and shit, but a lot of people now get their fashion from those instead of a magazine. So, mind you, I was 6 when this came out, so it's not like I was never interested in fashion magazines anyway, so I just don't know how popular they are now.
There you are, Emily. How many times do I have to scream your name?
I don't think so.
Actually, it's Andy.
Yeah.
Like I watch America's
My name is Andy.
Next Top Model,
Everybody calls
but
me Andy.
I know 15 skirts from Calvin Klein.
but it's like even then it's like my biggest thing. The only reason why I like America's Next Top Model is I like the photos that come out of all the photo shoots. I don't like all the drama or like
Yeah.
anything. Like I'm not interested. I'm just interested in the final product, the picture, and that's it.
Yeah, no, I get that. And, well,
Did de Marchelier confirm?
that's a talk about reality TV that we'll go into at some point. But, uh, but yeah, I definitely, I don't,
Emily?
like, I've seen some episodes of RuPaul's Drag Race, but I don't know. I just don't like how, in a lot of those shows, how fake everybody, like, you can clearly tell they're just, the producer went, like, off to the side and said, hey, make some drama up or something like that most of the time. Like, you could just kind of tell.
Do you have de Marchelier?
So, that's just,
Yeah.
I have
yeah.
Miranda Priestly calling. I have Patrick. No, she called me in and she asked me about Pier 59.
I love how
We-
after that, like she immediately starts putting on the shoes.
I know, right? Hey, you get that look, and then it's that self-confidence. As soon as you see someone like give you like a weird look or something like that, you're all like, oh shit. You know exactly what they're doing. You're all like, oh no, kind of thing. So you try and change it real quick, which is sad. You should be more confident in yourself. Wear what you want. Her shoes weren't that bad. But yeah. We do get the first time that she gets called Emily. And because, you know, Miranda's
Emily's the main assistant.
Yeah. Because, you know, we get Miranda's way too important. She doesn't have time to remember a simple name to to an assistant that might not be staying around.
Yeah, because like she doesn't even want to like stay around. Like she said, like, oh yeah, I came to New York to do journalism.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, so you have no fashion experience and yet you are here.
Yeah.
Wow.
And like
Miranda Priestley's office? No, she's not available.
and I do like that. I don't know. I do find it funny that most of the phone calls in this movie is literally like Miranda Priestly. Okay, got it, and that's it. It's they don't say anything else. They don't like take a mess like, oh, she's not available. Can you take a message or something like that? So, but
I get to wear couture. I go to all the shows and all the parties. I meet.
well, and they're all giving her looks, but this is literally like her first day.
Oh yeah.
Here.
And it's very difficult for her to catch up. It's like she walks in there and Miranda start like spewing all these things and obviously she doesn't know like what any of them mean. And then
Yeah.
like when Emily comes back and is like, yeah, I kind of know what all this is, and then it's like, okay, great. I'm getting like secondhand information. I have no clue like what exactly Miranda wanted because she wasn't she wasn't there to pick up on the hints, and you're just getting like fractions and little bits of what of like what Miranda wants and all this other stuff. And Andy's like, I have no clue what I'm doing.
Well, and it is a, if you think about it, it's very well put together scene because you feel that you yourself are it's like our first day at work. Same for her. It's like we don't know what the hell she is saying. Like, oh, she said this. I don't know. But
Okay, can you?
but yeah, that is. But like, it's true. Like for us, it's like, oh, we don't know what any of this is, so Andy also doesn't know.
I don't think I need these. Miranda hired me. She knows.
I do forget that Nigel's the one that gives her the shoes immediately, so like, probably put these on, honey.
Yeah.
Wow. Going to show how great Nigel is. Literally, he just shows up and is all like, "Here's the shoes," and then it's all like, "Oh, she's calling you."
Actually, it's Andy.
Yeah, at least he's able to like he does like a little extra and he gives her like hints of like, even though it's not your name, she's trying to get the attention of assistant.
Yeah. I do
Please bore someone else with your question.
I do find it
We have Pier 15
weird or
tomorrow,
I don't know, because Miranda's character kind of flip flops back and forth
Tell Simone
at times. She was impressed with that Andy was defiant in her interview, and it's all like, no, I don't know anything about fashion, but I'm a fast learner. I work hard, yada
I'll
yada
pick it up.
yada. I'll pick it up. And then she flip flops when freaking you choose the defiant one to get hired, and she walks in and is all like, my name's not Emily, it's Andy, and stuff like that. So, and then
It's kind
she
of like,
gets,
oh, in the real world, this would be like a simple correction that you would make, but it's like here, it's like, I'm sorry, what did you just say?
you're correcting me? How dare you? So,
Do you know who I am? I love that fucking phrase. It's so good.
yeah.
I have Patrick.
I
I
like
don't think
when
I've
people
ever had
say it.
anybody in like real life actually say, "Do you know who I am?" And I'm
No.
like, huh. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for that moment.
I like it better when someone says it and I have absolutely no idea who it is. I'm all like, no. Who?
Yeah, right.
Who are you?
Sorry, who? Ooh, yeah, I don't know that. Ooh, looks like you're not as important as you thought we were.
Nope.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you have
But
some
yeah,
prior
no.
commitment?
I love the sass in this movie is what makes it so good. It's so good.
The sass is very good. They do great. Alright, well, we can go on to the next scene unless do you guys have any final thoughts? Speak now or forever hold your peace.
I'm holding my peace.
Okay, sounds good. You too, Nina?
Yep.
Okay. Next we have what I titled, ooh, Andy, why did you think that was a good idea? I don't know what I do when I make these titles, so after a hectic couple of weeks working for Miranda, Andy is called into her office to take notes of a run-through of the new clothes they will be debuting in the magazine. When Andy makes a comment on the fashion, Miranda has a few choice words for her. Also, I know that she does not make a comment, she just laughs, but still, it works. We'll just get started with the scene.
No, and I've seen all this before.
Deskins is trying to reinvent the drugway, so actually
Where are
it's...
all the other pieces?
We have some right here, and then Anani. And I think it can...
I think this is like a few weeks after, right? I'm not crazy.
I-
Baffling to me. Why is it so impossible to put together a decent run through?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Hours to prepare.
It actually might be the same day because that
It
sweater
might be the same day. It looks like the same sweater.
Yeah.
We need more, don't we? Oh, this is.
Yeah, I think it is the same day. It's like still her first day here.
Yeah.
Give me a full ballerina skirt and a hint of saloon, and I'm on board.
But do you think it's too much like?
The funny thing is at the beginning of the scene, I also, like, you see Andy's face go like, ooh. When I saw that dress, I was all like, ooh, that does not look
You
like a
had the
good
same
dress.
reaction of like, I would never be caught dead wearing that. Like if you look at half the stuff that actually like fashion runways like wear, you'd be like,
Yeah.
I would never be caught dead this. And it's kind of like, well, like why make these articles of like clothing if nobody's gonna like really wear them, you know? Unless it's gonna be like a one-time like wear for like a person of like Hollywood or something, you know?
Yeah. I think most of the time, at least like with runway pictures and stuff like that with fashion, I think it's more of an art piece than actual like, oh, I'll go and wear this. Which is why I think like beauty magazines have kind of transitioned from, oh, we're setting the trends of the summer or winter or whatever season.
Hydrate, bitch!
Yes, Murphy, I'll drink. Sorry about that. I will hydrate. But they kind of switched from like the like, oh, we set the trends to here is basically like an art piece with clothes kind of thing. Or, you know, they write an article about how every woman is ugly, needs to fix themselves. But that's my opinion of beauty fashion.
I love
fashion
Emily in the
industry
back, and Andy
general.
kind of looks to her. Emily's just in the back, and she just shakes her head like, you have
Like,
unleashed
no.
a firestorm you are not prepared for.
By the people in this room from a pile of stuff.
Obviously, everybody has their own opinions on fashion and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think in this movie, like the fashion's actually good. All that. I mean, we still get the bad parts of like
Mm-hmm.
they view like anyone like not what Nigel says. What the 4 is the new 2 and the 2 is the new 0
Yeah.
kind of thing. So like, which is interesting. Is there a size 0? I don't know women's fashion,
Yeah.
so I don't know how.
Size 0 is like, so trying to think. 0 is like super petite.
Okay, so dangerously,
like-
probably not healthy petite.
It depends. It's like some people just have like small, like usually like 0 is like kind of the waistband, so it's like
Okay.
what a person's like hips would be basically. And so a 0 is somebody who has like very small hips, which could be like either like healthy kind of natural or like unhealthy kind of standard. But it's like the smaller that you are, the more of that hourglass figure you can see, the
Yeah.
better.
On my car. Where's that piece of paper I had in my hand yesterday morning?
Yeah,
Surfboards or boogie boards or something.
I don't know.
Spring break.
Male fashion is just large, extra large, medium, small. So
Buy shoes from Blahnik and then go get Patricia.
Yeah, I've definitely noticed that. Like, there is a strict distinction between like female fashion and like male fashion, even like high fashion. It's
There
kind
is.
of crazy. It's like women, I feel like, are more based on the, I guess you could say, is it like curvature?
yeah,
I guess like how much of an
definitely.
hourglass figure, rather with men, it's how more like toned you are. And it's like
Yeah.
how does your body and your muscles work with the clothing?
Which I have no muscles, so that doesn't.
No, I just,
But
it's just baffling to me. Why
no, I agree with that, and like,
through you people have had
which is interesting because it's actually sometimes very hard to like get pants the right size for men because I don't know, like some, or at least for some guys, because like they have weird proportions. Like they have either too long, they have like too long of legs, but have a very skinny waist. But the thing is with like, I don't know if it's the same with women's pants, but with men's pants, they just kind of keep it the same. So I think like I'm wearing like 24 by 24, but my legs aren't. I think my legs are a little shorter than the 24
Yeah,
thing.
I've got a
So,
roommate
like,
who's super like tall and lanky, and it's like he can never find the right pants because he's so tall, but he's also super skinny. And so it's like when he finds the lengths, if you find the correct length, then it's like the waistband is too big. But if you find the right waistband, then the pants are too short and then they look like high waters. And then they don't look right. They look too small
Yeah.
for you. And it's like all these different things. And yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Whereas shirts, it's mainly just, okay, here you go. Here's a large.
Yep. Here's a
Unless
shirt.
you're getting like a suit, you're not really gonna get measurements. You're just gonna be like,
yeah.
whatever. Here's a large. Here you go.
General fit, yeah.
Yeah. So
it's not lapis, it's actually cerulean. And you're also blithely
I usually just end up replaying the video after, since we end up talking a little bit longer than the video. So,
showed cerulean.
but we don't need to actually finish it. I will say, as Meryl is going on this long rant, which is it's a fun rant about the beauty industry and stuff like that. They do make that not great looking dress actually look good. What would look good. So
Yeah, it's very interesting. Like when you pick a piece of clothing, you're like, ooh, this is kind of gross. But then it's like that's what accessories are for. That's what
mhm.
shoes are for. And then it's like it's also very interesting. It's like now actually like going over this and thinking about this. This is what a lot of VTubers do, right? It's like VTubers.
Yeah,
It's like you have your base model. Right. And it's just like if you completely took off all the clothing, you have like your nude stuff. And then
yeah,
it's like you have like your hair design and all this other stuff. But then it's like when you start to conceptualize what your character would weigh and like dresses, and it's like okay, you could have just a plain blue dress or just a shirt and pants, but it's like what else do you add to it to make it pop? How do you
yeah,
put like two contrasting colors together? Or like it was in that dress, that gross weird salmon colored dress now has a like almost like turquoise kind of belt on it, and like that's what pops because there's a distinction in color. I don't know,
yeah.
it's so interesting.
Which I don't know. I don't know if this is just the male brain in me with like I feel as though for me at least, or like I like the I want the base to look good, not like I don't know. For me, it's like I would rather have the base look good,
Than the
and then
clothes.
the accessories
Mm.
like I get obviously I understand like you add the accessories of outfit comes together, but that's kind of why I don't necessarily enjoy um
Pick up the Polaroids from the lingerie shoot.
that kind of mentality of oh you need these accessories to make the outfit look good. What if you're at a party
Where's that piece of
and it's hot, you don't want to wear the jacket so you take it off and like it kind of
boards or something?
You
then
must suffer.
yeah you basically have to suffer to be able to like keep it up like to have like if you
Hydrate.
want to
This is just a threat.
thank you I'm drinking, I'm hydrating.
Get me that little table that I
I
like.
will have to probably get water in case someone else does that soon, but
I don't know how
But-
much longer we have, but yeah,
That's
just say
true.
we can do it after this one.
yeah I just have to grab water, it'll take like 2 seconds, but yeah I don't know, personally I would rather the base outfit look good than the accessories making it look good, but I don't know if that's just a
Mhm.
male mentality of it, so
Yeah.
okay.
You gonna go
I'm
grab
gonna
water?
I'll read the next scene and start the video, and then while the video's going, if you guys want to talk over it, I'll go grab water real quick.
Yeah, sure.
But we got we got good old makeover scene. Andy gets blamed for Miranda missing the twins' recital, so she goes off on Andy about how she took a chance on the ugly fat girl, not of. So Andy runs to the best character, Nigel, for advice. But yeah, so basically, she works there for a few weeks. She does an alright job. She's still wearing her bad looking clothes, even after that big speech. And then Miranda goes off to Florida for the weekend for something important for the company. And she's trying to get home because the next day there's a recital that her twin daughters have, and she's trying to get home, but there's a hurricane going on in Florida, and so all flights have been canceled, and literally Andy is calling everyone like, hey, is there any way she can get out? No, yada yada. And so Miranda misses the recital, and it's kind of crazy to blame her for that, but all right.
It's like I thought you could do better.
Yeah, which we can actually go over a little bit later when we talk about her divorce and stuff like that. So, but more into like Miranda's mentality of workaholism. But I'm gonna start the
Yeah.
clip and go grab water. If you guys can
Yeah,
keep
go
talking
ahead.
over it though. Give your opinions on the scene.
Excuse me, where do you think you're going?
This is like immediately after she hears this from them. It's actually crazy. We ended it at the perfect time. I feel like this is also where Nigel becomes like the best character. It's so good. I love him.
He carried the movie for real.
Oh, I love Stan. He's Tucci. So good.
Because if I do something right, it's unacknowledged. She doesn't even say thank you. But if I do something wrong, she is vicious.
So quit.
What?
Quit. I can get another girl to take your job in 5 minutes. One who really wants it.
But no, I don't want to quit. That's not fair. But I'm just saying that I would just like a little credit for the fact that I'm killing myself trying.
Ugh, Andy, be serious. You are not trying. You are whining.
He also lays it down like pretty flat too. It's like he's right. It's like anybody could take her spot. If she really doesn't like the job, then she should just quit.
Wake up, 6.
But it's like,
She's just doing her job.
well, like to her this might be just a job, but to everybody else this is like the end all be all.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if you don't put in 110%, then it's like you're not really trying at that point.
Mm-hmm.
You're just working. You're not doing anything else.
Yeah, and I do like this line that Nigel says where he's all like, fuck, he just said it. I totally forgot about it. But he basically is telling her, I don't know why you're making it seem like she's personally attacking you when she's just criticizing you messing up on her job. She attacks everybody. She's not like personally just going after you type thing.
Yeah.
She's a professional. That's what she's just doing her job. That's what Nigel says. And her job is to run everything. So, but
yeah,
we still go clearly into the discussion of abuse of power at work and stuff like that. So, and a toxic relationship that isn't romantic. It's not at all a romantic relationship, but is still a toxic relationship where she kind of has all of these people under her thumb just because she's great at her job.
There's nothing in this whole closet that'll fit a size 6, I can guarantee you. These are all sample sizes, 2 and 4. All right, we'll join this for you.
Nigel's the best, literally giving her a makeover for it, like this scene.
Jimmy Choo's. I do know that name. I know Jimmy Choo.
Jimmy Choo?
Jimmy Choo, and it's not Louis Vuitton, is it? It might be Louis Vuitton. There's a type of heel that has copyrighted red soles on heels. And I think it might be Louis Vuitton, but it's like
That's
no
weird.
other high heel shoes can have red bottoms.
That's
And it's like
weird.
a very important like standard of stuff. Like that is like when it comes to these types of shoes, that is the brand identity, is the red sole bottoms.
Yeah. Now this part is this is what makes me feel like this movie is just adult Mean Girls, is them literally just talking behind her back and being like, oh, did you see her outfit? And then them getting all mesmerized and be like, oh shit, you look good.
Okay, thanks.
Pretty sure the one in the glasses, this was a sexual awakening for her.
Are you wearing the Chanel boots? Yeah.
Yeah.
You look good.
You look good.
I freaking love it. It's so good. It's also like the night and day transformation between her and
Where do you think you're going?
like you see her before where she's like just so upset and like distraught and everything, and then it's like she comes in and she's like, yeah, I have a new outlook on this job. New me. Let's go.
You wanna know what's funny? I think her hair might look, to me at least, look better before she does her makeover. I'm not really into the bangs look.
Oh, wait.
Like,
It's not my
So I
fault.
which is
think,
just a personal preference, but
yeah. So I think because I'm looking at the bit before. I think she had the bangs, right? But they were just parted in the middle, and so now her hair is all straightened, and instead of it being like puffy and frizzy, it's like, oh, it's straightened. It's got like product in it that you can see. It's got this shine, this chic, and it's like instead of having the bangs part, now they go across the entire like the forehead.
yeah. Well, I guess I'm fine with bangs like if they look more natural. I don't know, when it kind of
Mhm.
when you do like the straighten and the product and all that, it kind of, I don't know. I don't really like it when it just like covers your full forehead. It just makes me think it like makes a person's face look blocky to me, kind of thing. Which once again is a personal preference and is not
Doing her job.
a critique, and I should not be taken seriously on my fashion tips. So do what you like. I just have my own but respect that I have my own preferences too.
Was greater than art. Because you live your life in it.
I also do love in this scene we get a little bit of Nigel's backstory.
This is just a magazine.
Yeah.
Like literally,
Magazine. This is a
clearly,
beacon
this
of
is
hope.
like why he loves
Oh,
Runway.
Let's say a young boy growing up in Rhode Island with 6 brothers, pretending to go to soccer practice when he was really going to sewing class and reading Runway under the covers at night.
Yeah. Nina said it earlier, but
No idea.
Nigel Stanley Tucci,
What's worse,
Best character.
he controls this movie. Hell yeah.
where so
Yeah, he does.
would die to work.
Don't worry, I heard you also call him Stanley. I know you're on a first name basis with him.
Dude,
It's
I
not
love him.
Mr.
And like
Tucci.
no, not Mr. Tucci, it's Stanley. No, I love him in the Hunger Games. I love him in this. It's so great. There's probably a couple other movies that I've seen that he's been in. He's such a great actor. He's so good.
Yeah.
My personal headcanon that in this movie he's queer coded.
Pretty sure he is. I think it's
Yeah.
insinuated at least. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they outright like confirm or say anything, but it's definitely
No.
implied.
Yes.
What you expect me to do?
I did the same when I was watching this movie. I called him. I thought he was gay, and I'm all like, I think he's gay, and then I'm all like, or he could just be a straight man who's really into fashion. There are some that are there's straight men that are into fashion, but
I mean,
I'm pretty sure he's gay. Yeah, you can heavily imply that he's probably gay.
Jimmy Choo. Nola Blahnik. Wow. Nancy Gonzalez. Love that. Okay, Narciso Rodriguez.
I love it.
I know. I also like his big, like, round glasses. They're just fun.
Now, Chanel, you're in desperate.
Coke bottles, that's what they're called. Coke bottle glasses.
Get to the beauty department, and God knows how long that's going to take.
I mean, I have no idea.
Yeah, Anne Hathaway, because you're so ugly. It's Anne Hathaway, guys. Come on.
Held up to Schwimwear eyelash curler and said,
And once again, this is literally just kind of the plot to Princess Diaries up to this point. Obviously, it's what does not become like Princess Diaries later.
No. But hey, but now she's starting to get the hang of how to work for Miranda.
Yeah.
Miranda Priestly's office? No, actually, she's not available, but I'll leave word. Okay, thanks. Bye.
But we can definitely continue when you're
Okay.
ready.
Yeah, we can go to the next scene. We're all good here. Well, so next we got those twins are little devils, so like imps. Andy has finally proved herself to Miranda and others at the magazine, so Miranda gives Andy the duty of delivering the book to her place, but for getting some instructions, she gets bad advice from 2 little devils. But let's start the clip. I added this scene just so that we could talk about Christian a little bit more, because obviously I don't have the scene where she's like running around getting the Harry Potter book, but this was kind of like the lead up to that. So
Yeah, it's kind of like, yeah, the twins want the next bit of the Harry Potter book, and it's like it is still in the process of being written. It's like not even finished. It's nowhere close to being published either from like their publisher, or their editor has gone through it. It is like an actual just a whole bunch of
Yeah.
like stacks of paper that she's able to get.
Which you gotta like they want the manuscript. It's like, oh, so you're not getting the edited version or anything. It must like be
This is like the work in progress. Like there are
Yeah.
probably lines crossed out, the notes in the margin, everything.
like literally just like it won't be a good book. Like, and I'm kind of critical on, I don't know if you guys have read the Harry Potter books, but they're all right. They're not the best books. I mean, they're entertaining. I like the characters are fun, but sometimes the writing isn't the best. So I don't know if I would enjoy the unedited version of that. Frankly, I mean, just put it on a table. Like, really? Definitely don't. I said the same thing.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Why the hell would you? Like, I don't get why you would trust
Yeah,
the two kids.
Little twins.
Just because they gave you one like nice thing of advice, being like it's the door to the left.
You should have known at that moment, like when she's saying, "Oh yeah, she definitely does."
Mm-hmm.
Like, you never walk up the stairs. You never go into someone's home.
Ooh, this is a great little scene showing how bad she is at her fucking relationships. She throws herself so much into her work that she doesn't even. That I always hate. Like, I don't know. Like, really?
And she just freaking leaves it.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Like, really? You're not even. You can't just make it to dinner. You have to work that much. I did like that line, Reed. Why don't you get in bed with her and ask for a bedtime story?
Right.
I was all like, you know what? I think Meryl Streep could read a bomb-ass bedtime story.
Yeah, I want her to read me, was it Green Eggs and Ham?
Green Eggs and Ham. Good Night Moon.
Yeah.
Silent Night.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Just,
I also find it very interesting that it's like, like the issues that kind of Miranda has is eventually the issues that like Andy has, to where it's like Miranda is like full force into her work. Like she is the head of this runway magazine. She is what dictates the fashion, and she's like that's where all of her energy goes. And then it's like throughout the movie it's like you kind of see like originally Andy never cared about this job, and it's like as she slowly starts to like caring about this job, it's like she is doing everything. She is throwing herself into the work. And I think that is also what creates the issue of like you see this very beginning issue with Miranda and her husband, and then you start to slowly see how Andy's dedication to the job that she now has is also affecting not only her relationship with her boyfriend but also her friends and stuff. And it's kind of like well, you have to choose, are you going to stick with your work and job, or are you going to actually like come and have fun with like us, we're your friends.
Yeah, there's also like there's this it's a very toxic place to work. Like you're working this overtime. You shouldn't have to sit around waiting for a book until 10:30. If Miranda wants the book, she should be doing it. Just because you're an assistant doesn't mean you have to like do it like, I don't know, like, unless it's in your contract that you work 24/7 type thing, but then you better be getting paid overtime and crap like that. Like,
Yeah.
and just having this mentality of, like, oh, I have this, you're my assistant, which means you do everything for me, and I can call whenever I need you to, type thing. When it's like the scene where she's calling about the plane ride back from Miami. Like, yes, yes, Andy's your assistant, but first of all, it's the weekend. She should be off, and like, you can do it. Just talk to like a flight attendant or something, and just be all like, hey.
Yeah, it's kind of like one of those things where it's like sometimes like I feel bad for like managers and like the workforce, because it's like, sure, you know, you're paid a salary that's supposed to compensate for you maybe working over 40 hours a week, but it's like, if you are a manager of a store, it's like you never really can have a moment's rest, because if something happens, it's like, oh, you have to be available now for this. And that's,
Yeah.
I feel like that's what's kind of hurt, like her thing as well. It's like, to us it might not seem like important, but it's like, if something happens, she's the one that now has to deal with it. She's always got to make sure things are on like ready to go, because if things aren't ready, then it's like, it's her name that's behind this. And if you ruin like your
Yeah.
name, especially when it comes
Oh.
to stuff of such like high caliber, it's like, okay, well, now nobody's ever going to trust my name, because I can't produce what I said I, you know, like I can't fulfill the promises that I made.
Yeah, no, I get that. Also, Nina had to go, so, but she'll...
No, that is no problem.
That's not a problem, but yeah, no. So, but she has to get up early, so she'll be back another time. I know she will. But yeah,
okay.
no. And it's just kind of crazy how like how hard these assistants get worked and stuff like that. Like, really, like, you can't, like...
And that's usually how assistants kind of get work. It's like anything that the manager or whoever like you are an assistant to doesn't have time for, it all gets pushed onto you. And it's kind of like, you're meant to meet these same expectations that you might not be like getting paid the same or getting the same amount of recognition.
Yeah. Well, we can go on the next clip. This is way farther into the movie. This clip is also titled "I'll Fight Miranda for Making Nigel Cry." But this is way farther into the movie. It's a big gap. So we already got past the Harry Potter scene. So after Andy makes that mistake at her place, or at Miranda's place, of going upstairs, that's her punishment, is to get the Harry Potter book. Otherwise, she'll be fired. And she somehow miraculously does it. And she gave her an impossible task, but she somehow did it, and she's actually kind of impressed that she did. So basically, because of that, and Emily being sick, and all of that, Miranda wants to take Andy to Paris. But obviously Andy doesn't want to go because Emily's been waiting for it and all that. But Miranda wants Andy to go because she's been putting in more work or effort from her point of view. When we all know Emily has put in so many hours and everything like that. But while on the phone trying to tell Emily that she's not going to Paris, Emily gets hit by a car. And I will say, I did like that Andy goes to the hospital, and instead of her just being all like not telling her, she does tell Emily about what Miranda told her. Which does have a fault. Like, I get Emily was upset that she wasn't going, but she just got hit by a car, so she wouldn't be going anyway. But I kind of wish she wasn't as mad at Andy, but I get she was letting off steam and all that. Anyway, so Andy goes with Miranda to Paris, and while they're there, Christopher's there. Also, at this point, Andy and her boyfriend, I don't even remember his name, break up. I think it's Nate or something. I don't know.
I think it's Nate or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. They break up. And so Andy's single in Paris, and she meets Christopher, and they go out for a dinner, and then they kiss and sleep with each other. And then it's revealed that Christopher's getting a job at the new publication, because there's like an off branch of Runway that they're doing. I don't know how that works. I don't know the behind the scenes of magazines. So they're doing like a brand, like another place in Paris, I believe, and Christopher is going to become the editor of Runway, because Jacqueline, who we meet earlier, she's like a very one-off character. The only thing you need to know is that Miranda and Jacqueline hate each other, or Miranda hates Jacqueline. And but yeah, so they said that Miranda's going to be fired, and Jacqueline's going to take her job, which means Christopher's going to be the editor. Long story short, it's like this all weird power play behind. It turns into the show Succession. I've never seen the show Succession, but I know there's a lot of like backstabbing, and that's all that happens in this latter part of the movie. And basically, before all this, Nigel gets told that he's going to become the new head of this branch of Runway. That's this like second branch of Runway and stuff like that. And then we lead into this part where I can finally now read this section. After an unfortunate accident to Emily, Andy gets to go to Paris with Miranda, and while they're there, she learns that Miranda is going to be fired after the announcement party for the new magazine branch is announced.
Yep.
Sorry, I know that was long-winded, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you were all like, okay, he's just ranting, I'm gonna click off now. But it's very complicated, and I couldn't put that in, and I also couldn't have like 5 clips explaining what's about to happen, so. But now we have the party. We start the clip, so. But yeah, and this is Irv. He runs he owns the magazine.
Yeah.
So he's actually the boss of Miranda. But Andy's still in this very toxic relationship, wants to warn Miranda that she's getting fired. So
yeah, it's like Miranda kind of even knows too. It's like I feel like people who've worked for so long in the industry tend to know. It's like when certain things start to play out in a certain way, and it's like it's time.
yeah, so as we'll get later, more in the clip. Actually, no, I don't think the clip gets shown. But basically, this entire scene, Miranda knows she's gonna get fired, and so she's been once again, she's making plays behind the scenes and like backstabbing people, and she's backstabbing Nigel, which is terrible because he's the best character. He's literally so excited to get this new job. So.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Miranda Priestly.
I will say, I love that Nigel sits next to Andy at this party. I love that. I don't know if that would actually happen in real life, because I feel as though Nigel, being like head designer, would probably be at the table with Miranda, but I think they kind of did it more for staging like camera purposes, not anything.
Yeah, I also like the fact that I don't know if she actually knew. I have a feeling like she knew, but it's like one of those things to where um it's kind of like more Miranda steps down instead of being fired. Like it was like kind of like her choice. Like she has been in
Yeah.
control of the situation the whole time, which I find to be very interesting. Like I can't actually tell if things are like if she actually is in control or if she is just really good at being like, okay, this is kind of new information to me. Here's how I'm going to play it out.
Yeah, I get that. Also, we get a little bit more insight that probably Nigel's gay with that little wave that he
With
does
the
to
other
James.
guy.
I'm pretty sure they are like a couple or something. It kind of seems that way. Just
I would
from, like, their
love to see
facial
a TV
expressions.
show of this movie and
I
like
would
actually
too.
go like deeper into stuff of the fashion world.
Well, when I
Yeah,
was
you can even
watching,
see on Nigel's face that he's just like, oh,
yeah,
damn.
but yeah, and yeah, I felt so sad for Nigel. Like literally, you see him almost on the verge. This is where obviously Christopher. I don't think Christopher was. This is where I like confirm that I don't think Christopher was a bad guy. And I think he actually did care about Andy because he didn't even know about this. He was surprised. He wanted Miranda. He literally wanted Miranda out because he wanted Andy to have a better. Because he knows what Andy's going through. He wanted Miranda out so that she can have like a better job, essentially. And then him, like, even him being blindsided by it. But yeah. And that little line from Nigel of when the time is right, she'll do me good or something like that. And then literally Andy being all like, "Are you sure?" And she's all like, he's literally has to hope. He's all like, "I hope so." He doesn't even know for sure if it will happen. It's just sad all around.
Yeah, because it's like one of those things where it's like you never really know, and it's kind of like it's like one of those things where it's like, okay, if he does decide to leave, Miranda's like recommendation is probably one of the best recommendations you can get.
Yeah.
From
anybody,
really. From anybody from a place. And so yeah,
and so it just sucks because I love Nigel. I wish he could have gotten, frankly, I think the happy ending would have been Miranda did get fired and Nigel or Jacqueline got her job. That might have been like the good ending, but we get the villain kind of succeeds kind of thing. It's kind of an interesting story in that aspect. And especially since right before, like, the reason Andy wants to be warning Miranda really is because she just saw her crying about her divorce and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And during that time, it's like, obviously the reveal, oh, she just got divorced to another man. She's been married and divorced plenty of times because she's just not there. Like, she's just, I don't know. She just doesn't make time for her family or anything like that. Which is just terrible to do. Make time for your family. Even if you work a lot, try and make time for the people you love. But yeah. Okay. We can go, I believe the next one is the last clip for this one. We can go that one. Yeah, I believe this is the last.
Yeah, it's the last one.
Third great
the end
speech
of the movie.
In this movie. After Nigel gets betrayed by Miranda, Andy confronts Miranda in the car, so Miranda tells Andy how similar they actually are, even if Andy does not see it. I know that was like, I know I said Miranda and Andy a ton, but don't worry, that's fine. These two actually just kind of, these two clips like go kind of into each other, so. You got a little bit of the ending. And you get a clear I think you get a clear line of him saying, yeah.
Mm.
Our celebration of James Holt. We at Runway are very proud to have been.
Yeah. You can just kind of see he's like tearing up. Time is right. She'll pay me back.
Yep.
No. But I hope for the best.
Oh. Yeah, this is just very interesting because this whole movie just shows how toxic some companies are and stuff like that. And basically, because it's a very good company, you're kind of trapped at times. Because if you try and leave, then, and you didn't go out on like good terms, they'll just do that. Yeah. Yes. So,
Yeah, okay, she did. Yeah.
she did plan this whole thing. I do love this scene because this reminds me so much of like Ocean's 11 or something like that, where it's like, oh, the heist happened, but now we get to it's
Now you
like
get to
revealed.
see all the behind the scenes.
Yeah, like, oh, this is what we did type thing. So it's kind of it's an interesting shift for them. Yeah, and basically, and the list that she has of all the people that support her when she probably like threatened their jobs and stuff like that is just, it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean Miranda, like even though she's been very demanding throughout this movie, it's like this is probably the only part of the movie where you actually get to see all the extra stuff that she does behind the scenes. It's like even though she is very hard on everybody to make sure things work, it's like through these connections though, it's like she's able to get anybody any job that they want. And it's like even with her leaving, then you know, it's still fashion.
Yeah. And in this scene, she literally flat out tells Andy, "You already like me." Like, literally. You do what I do kind of thing. So. The sad part is that she's right. Like, with her final line of "everybody wants to be like us," it's true. You want money. You can't, like, I think everybody wants like money and power and stuff like that.
I feel like it's like some sort of impact, right? It's like people in the fashion industry are remembered for like their choices, or anybody who has like this high up thing. And it's like, okay, you have your everyday workers, but it's like, are you going to remember the receptionists that worked for you for like 10 years? Are they going to be in like the fashion books that talk about like everything that you do? And that's kind of like that, like, who's the small worker that's going to be kind of like down on the bottom? Are you going to remember who they are? Are you going to remember like the name and the face of the company?
Yeah.
You know?
And yeah. And like they've said multiple times through this movie, like Andy's job is the starting point of getting into this like career. Like I think the way like, if Andy obviously didn't come to her senses, I feel as though Miranda was like making her become the next like, I don't know what Miranda was, but like the head person there, and was like molding her more into herself, and like they said, Andy's job, a million other girls want her job. Like, we could hire one literally the next day, or like in 2 hours after you quit, and
we could find somebody who would want it more, you know.
Yeah, and I think the ending is a little bit too happy, in the sense that I think they could have gone more of a realistic route. I don't think in real life Miranda would have, like, given her a glowing recommendation to, like, the paper that Andy goes to. So I don't know. They definitely could have gone a little bit darker with the ending. But they kind
I
of
feel like it's like one of those like kind of like happy stories where it's like, oh, she, you know, in the end Andy actually got what she wanted, but it's like the way she was able to get it was different than what she expected. She just expected to work this job and then be able to be like put it on a resume and get the next job, but it was in fact like probably the recommendation of Miranda that got her the job because she stood out.
Yeah, and I am glad, I am happier that they went for a happy ending, with just like, I am happier that they went with a happier ending, like, and you get Emily also being all like, you have big shoes to fill to the next, like, assistant that showed up and stuff like that. Like, Andy made like a big impact on their lives, even though she was just an assistant and stuff like that. So, but yeah, so, alright. I think
now we're on Avengers.
we are on Avengers. You got any final thoughts for?
It's a good
Devil Wears
movie.
Prada?
It is one of those ones where I probably couldn't watch it back to back constantly, but I love watching it probably a lot more often than I do like other movies. And I don't know. It's like one of those like guilty pleasure / comfort movies that I like. I would say if I were to rate it, it would probably be like an 8, like a 7 to 8 out of 10. I think it's a very good and entertaining movie. I think the actors do an amazing job to play their roles. There's like snappy dialogue. You see like a transformation. Things probably could have gone better. I think Nina was right too, like earlier when she said that it would probably make for a better TV show. I feel like a lot of things could make for better TV shows than they do movies, because movies can only be so long unless you're like Lord of the Rings and your movies are like 3 to 5 hours per like thing or whatever it is. But
or Avengers Endgame. That was 3 hours. But yeah, no, I agree. I think I would give it like 7.5. I really enjoyed it. It's really good. As a straight white male who knows nothing about the fashion industry, I enjoyed it. It's a great watch. Like, I think I'll get the men perspective. If you're a man, a lot of men would probably be all like, "Oh, that's just like a weird girl movie or whatever." But it's really good, and like you actually see like how, I don't know, it's like kind of to the level of Succession with how much backstabbing and stuff goes on, and like behind the scenes like stuff's going on. So I think anybody would really enjoy it. So, but I enjoyed it. It was really good. Anne Hathaway's great. Meryl Streep's great. And yeah, and Nigel's the best character, and that's a fact.
Praise be to Stanley Tucci.
Hell yeah. It's a fact, by the way. That's not an opinion. If anyone says anything else, they're wrong. But now we have Avengers Endgame. I know it's weird. We've done no other Marvel movie, but I allowed Avengers Endgame because, frankly, there's so many movies. If we literally went one by one, it would take us years to finish.
I couldn't do it.
we're just gonna get
I
to
can
the
only
ending.
handle so much, so much Marvel movie.
Yeah, true. I think a lot of people nowadays got that Marvel burnout. I only have a
Mhm.
select few I am excited for, and that's mainly Spider-Man, and I'm excited for Blade because I love vampire movies. So that's what I'm just excited for that. Really. Also, it has Blade's gonna be played by it's Mahershala Ali, who's a really great actor, and I love his acting. I'm also very terrible at saying his name, especially if I'm not reading it right now. But yeah. But yeah, so we're going to the Avengers Endgame. It's the end of the Infinity War saga, or Thanos saga, whatever you want to call it. It was released
The
April
build-up
20th.
that I think all the Marvel movies have now come to be.
Yes, this was the end of an era. It was released on April 26, 2019. I saw it I think a few months after it came out. I did not watch it
I don't
opening
remember. I
day.
feel like I saw it in movie theaters, but I don't remember.
I did. This is
Actually, this might have been during COVID. I don't think I did. I don't remember. It was 4 years ago. My brain's fried.
Yeah, it was about a year before COVID hit. So you might have. This has been the only movie that I've gone to solo. I've only gone to one movie by myself, and I should do that more. But with my stomach problems, I just don't do it anymore.
One of my other roommates, he loves to go to the movies on himself, and he will regularly go. He went to go. He's such a FNAF fan. I fucking love it. He's such a FNAF fan. He went to go see the Five Nights at Freddy's movies 5 times, and I'm like, dude, you can't keep going. You can't keep doing this. It's too much.
Well, it's also expensive to go to the movies now, so it's like, but yeah, no, it is directed by the Russo brothers, who I love mainly because they do a lot of these Marvel movies, but I love them because they directed a lot of the Community episodes from the show Community. And I love them for that. They did the paintball episode, like the very first one, if I remember correctly. They directed that one. So you could literally, you watch the paintball episode, you understand why they got approved for doing all these superhero action movies. So, but yeah, let's jump in here. We're gonna do the characters. This is not nearly as in depth, mainly because a lot of us know who a lot of them are. And frankly, it would have been too much. There's at least 10 characters that I need to put in, and I was running out of time. I just
And to be honest, since you talked about the Devil Wears Prada, if you want me to talk about Endgame, because I'm sure your voice is like, it could be hurting from talking so much. I don't mind. I can do a couple sides if you want.
Yeah, if you want to. Let me go. We'll go over the characters first, and then I'll let you take over with the clips.
I got you.
So I literally just took the poster, and then just added the 3 characters that are not on the poster that you can see. Rocket is on the poster, but I think he's the bottom left there. I think you could see his
bottom.
Yeah, you could see his ear right if you look at the bottom left. I believe that is his ear, so I added a picture of him. But I chose the correct versions of Thor and Hulk to put.
Yes, I freaking love it. It's so great. And the fact that they did Thor like that, I think has been the best thing in the whole world.
And you clearly could tell that freaking Chris Hemsworth had such a great time. It was funny doing this movie for Bring Your Own Subscription, because half the characters I called them by their character name, and the other half I called them by their actor name.
Their actor name.
Yeah, and I called Thor Chris Hemsworth the entire time because I love Chris Hemsworth. Same as Mark Ruffalo.
Yo, look at Chris. Look at him go.
Look at Chris, yeah.
I was like, yo, what the fuck is he talking about?
I know, right? It's Thor. But going over the characters, we'll start with the big man at the very top with the big head. Thanos, obviously, to the left. Big purple man, he's the villain. Who voices him? Crap, I actually don't know. I gotta bring up the cast. He plays Cable in the Deadpool movies, and that's.
I don't know the actor.
I know.
You got me kind of on that one. I have no clue who voices
Josh Brolin.
I don't know what he's been in that I've seen. I mean, Deadpool I've seen, but
yeah. Did you watch Deadpool 2?
I did not watch Deadpool 2.
That was a great movie. He plays the guy with the he's the cyborg. So
okay, no, that's fine. Yeah, it's definitely very strange when you have I guess you could say it's like mocap kind of on to where it's like, oh yeah, it's like you have these people's facial structures, but it's like it is completely kind of changed. Like you're only really getting their facial expressions and maybe parts of their face that are staying the same, rather with like everything else is kind of exaggerated a little bit, or like, you know, skin color changes and stuff like that. Like the guy who plays like the Hulk, it's like sure you still get like the general, you know, look at the Hulk, but it's also like very it's a little different. Like if you put them side by side, I'm sure like they're kind of almost like two distinct kind of people, I feel like.
They are. And but for Thanos, quick description, he's the bad guy. This is part 2. He's killed like half of all living things in the universe. And now he's just a farmer. So that's kind of it. The Avengers want to beat him, basically kill him. They don't even try to like take him hostage. So next we got Iron Man, played by Robert Downey Jr. He's an eccentric billionaire that basically uses his great knowledge and money to make suits of armor. Next we have Thor as Chris Hemsworth, or Chris Hemsworth as Chris Hemsworth. He's a Norse god who has control over thunder. Which is funny because it's funny that he's the god of thunder when thunder is the sound, not the like thing you see.
Yeah, well, you know, actually, that is a good question. Is it actually? Yeah. Hold on.
Yeah, because they don't call him the god of lightning.
No.
Because isn't thunder just the sound?
I'm like pretty sure. Yeah, he's the Norse god of thunder. Which I guess even before like a lightning storm, you always hear thunder first.
Yeah.
So.
But anyway, he has zappy powers, which is fun, and we have the true picture of him in the top right. This is what he actually looks like in the film. He's magnificent, and we love him. After that we have Mark Ruffalo playing the Hulk.
Yes.
Or Professor Hulk, or Smart Hulk, whatever you want to call him. But basically, in this movie, he has combined he has basically combined the Hulk and himself, so now he is just basically always Hulk, but has the smarts. So, and that's what he looks like on the right. Oh yeah, I should say also with Chris Hemsworth, he is a depressed man who hates that he didn't stop Thanos the first time around, so he's just kind of sad the whole time.
There we go.
And that's why he's bigger now. Okay.
Yeah, you can kind of see, like, especially throughout the movie. I would say Avengers does a really good job of like definitely setting the tone for their characters of like, hey, this is what we were before, this is what has happened afterwards, especially at the fact that it's like what they had tried to do and what they sacrificed people for did nothing. And
Yeah.
it's that whole entire thing of like now these people are living kind of with the consequences. Here's what they look like what is it, like 5 years after?
Yeah, it is 5 years after. So
Yeah.
we see the fallout. So
Mm-hmm.
and them trying to fix it essentially. Let's see. We can go to the bottom right. I don't it's like it's hard to say her name.
Bottom right.
It's Okoi or something like that. That's her name, that character name, and her real name is Denai Guerrera. She plays Michonne in The Walking Dead.
Yes, she does.
Yes. So if you're a fan of The Walking Dead, like I am, she's in that, and she's awesome. She's also good in this. She's a very strong woman. She's kind of, after the losing to Thanos the first time, she's now kind of the one that runs Wakanda while Black Panther's away. She doesn't have much going. She didn't do much in the movie, but she's there to fight. She's cool. Next to her is Carol Danvers, otherwise known as Captain Marvel, played by Brie Larson. She was not in Infinity War, but she basically goes around the universe helping planets that can't help themselves, like helping fight and like fight tyranny and stuff like that. Once again, she kind of shows she's in the beginning and then she's in the end, and that's about all she's in. But yeah, and then next to her, we got the most good-looking man, Captain America, otherwise known as Chris Evans, who's not wearing a sweater in this movie because it is not Knives Out. But you know, he's Captain America. He's all about helping the world. He wants peace. He actually, it's an interesting aspect with his character because in the beginning of the movie he kind of gets to, you see him as like a grief counselor after the 5 years have happened, because I mean he was frozen for 70 years and then woke up into a world that he didn't know, so he can help people through that kind of thing. And then next to him, we have Nebula, who's Gamora's sister from Guardians of the Galaxy. She is a recently changed hero, but she basically just kind of helps out. I don't know. She's
more of a supporting character, I feel like,
she
than
is.
anything.
And sadly, that's just kind of always been her character, was a supporting character, but
yeah, I mean, there's also like when it comes to a movie with this many people in it, there's only so much screen time that everybody can have, but so like everybody's the main character, that it's kind of like not everybody gets a chance to do that.
But she is a daughter of Thanos. She's one of the she's just a daughter of Thanos. She's just wants to kind of, she's against him now. Also, it's she's played by Karen Gillan, which she's in the
Doctor Who.
She's in Doctor Who. I think she's also in she's also in the new Jumanji movies, if you've seen those.
Yes.
Welcome to the Jungle and Next Level.
Yeah, I haven't seen the new ones, but yeah, I know who she is.
Yes. But yeah, she's a daughter of Thanos. She's trying to go against him type things. Like, this is basically her first movie where she's a hero, right? So, besides like the end of Volume 2 of Guardians of the Galaxy. But yeah. And then next to her we have Black Widow. played by Scarlett Johansson. She's basically the Nick Fury now, since Nick Fury's kind of gone after the 5 years, and she wants to fix everything. She wants to bring everybody back together. But that's kind of hard to do when, half the world half the universe has been disappeared. Oh, and then we got Rhodey, played by the wonderful Don Cheadle. Love Don Cheadle. He's a good actor. He's been in a lot of good things, and he always kills it. Basically, he's another Iron Man, but he's War Machine, so he works for the military kind of thing.
Yeah.
But he's a good character. He's just kind of, once again, he's a supporting character, but he gets a lot more screen time in this movie. He's just helping out and all that. And then we got 3 more characters. I did just realize that one of the characters isn't on screen, but that's all right. I'll still describe him. We got Paul Rudd as Ant-Man. He's fun. He's cute. He's pretty funny, and I love him. He's great. He was trapped in the quantum realm and then comes back 5 years later, and so he's the one that has the idea of using time travel to help save everybody.
Yeah.
And then we have Rocket, who was voiced by Bradley Cooper, I thought, but it says Sean Gunn did this one, and I don't know if that is true. But I thought Bradley Cooper voiced him. It says that Bradley Cooper voices him. I don't know what the Google is talking about. But he's just like the technical person for the Guardians of the Galaxy. Once again, in this movie at least, he's a supporting character, but he's funny. He's pretty funny. And he has a lot of moments with Thor, because he's usually with Thor, and he helps out. A lot of these characters they just help out. They're there. And then the last one to talk about, which isn't on screen, is Hawkeye, played by Jeremy Renner, who in this one is like an assassin for like the beginning bit of the movie. He like goes on a rampage killing a bunch of villains, like gangsters and stuff like that.
More like a vigilante than anything.
Yeah. And then Black Widow shows up, does one quick speech for him, and then he's back on the good side. And he goes with Black Widow to get the Soul Stone, and he's also on a mission to like get his family back, because he loses his family, and so that's kind of his whole purpose. But all right, let's get into the clips, because that was a lot of characters, and I know that's not not fun to go through. There's a lot of
characters.
There's
stuff in this movie.
We
could spend like hours talking about every single person.
Yeah, we really could. Yeah, you could, if you want to take over for a little bit.
Yeah, sure. I'll give your voice a little rest. All right, guys. So welcome to the first clip from Avengers Endgame. This is literally, I think, the first scene that actually plays out in the movie.
Yeah.
I think I'm pretty sure this is the very first scene. It's like we get to the part where it's like we know what happens after the first Avengers, and then now we're into part 2, and it's like we first see the face of the man that has destroyed the universe, has killed our favorite superheroes, and this is kind of what befells him. The cute little title that we have is "So No Head."
Yeah.
Fun little thing here. So description. The Avengers have failed, and Thanos is able to destroy half of all living life. And this is like throughout the entire universe, not just on Earth. So half of all life on all planets everywhere has just been wiped off. And while Iron Man is stuck out in space with Nebula, he is saved by Captain Marvel and regroups with the rest. Then they then pay Thanos a visit. And at this point, I'm pretty sure people were thinking as well that Iron Man was going to die. It's like there's a
Yeah.
lot of unfinished stuff that happens after the first you know, part one of the Endgame kind of like series, and now it's like, well, what happens? Half the superheroes are gone. Thanos has won. What do you do? And
Yeah.
so this clip is kind of the very beginning of this movie.
Yeah. So I can get going.
Yeah.
But yeah, this essentially is the beginning of the movie. Literally all you guys missed is Iron Man was stuck out in space. He's doing like a farewell message to Pepper. And then Captain Marvel comes and saves him. That's it. Literally, you have missed nothing else.
They also do what they should have done in the first movie, which is cut off the arm that had the gauntlet on there to begin with.
True.
And it's like
when we see a character later on, I'm gonna complain so much about him.
I love that. I love that in the very beginning, it's like you see Thanos just peacefully living out. Everybody comes in to fuck his day and fuck his shit up.
Yeah.
But they learned from their mistakes. They learned that, hey, it's not about getting the gauntlet away. It's about cutting off the hand that he's going to use to snap the gauntlet to begin with.
Yeah. It would have helped, they probably would have been able to do it if Captain Marvel was there. Like,
just like extra force, because it's like even humans, it's a little too much.
It's interesting that Banner's in the Iron Man, like the Buster suit or whatever. The one that they used to fight Hulk.
Yeah, because I think at this point it's kind of like one of those things where it's like he's still having trouble trying to like control the Hulk or even get the Hulk to come out.
Yeah, I think actually in the first, I remember in Infinity War, Hulk doesn't come out because he's literally scared of Thanos. So, which was actually an interesting thing. Yeah. Also, yeah, we just see a decapitation in the movie. Like,
yeah, it's just straight up. Which, Thor's had a tough time. Thanos killed his brother, which I'm so upset about. There were so many conspiracy theories about like, oh yeah, that wasn't actually Loki, because if you look at it, all of Loki's images were like left-handed, and this one was like left-handed when he's normally like right-handed. And it was like a whole bunch of conspiracy theories that were all saying Loki didn't die, it's a trick. But he never came back to Thor. And it's like there are so many things where it's like I haven't even watched the newest season of Loki, but it's like so many people want like a reunion of the two. And it's like hey, Thor's been destroyed after like your death. It's like his entire family is gone. Everything that he was a part of is gone. And it's like it's a little heartbreaking.
Yeah. And I've never actually seen Loki. I've been meaning to watch it because I've heard that it's really good. But I just never have watched it. I've
seen the first season. I just haven't seen the second one.
That's good. I know that I do like that they go with the. I do like that Thor's all like, I aimed for the head. Like, just a callback to that. Great line, to be truthful.
Yeah, I'm telling you, after that first battle and they realized they fucking lost, they're like,
yeah,
well, there's things that we're not gonna do again.
Yeah. Because I think a lot in that first movie, they still try to just, like, disarm him kind of thing, instead of just flat out trying to kill him. But yeah, and... yeah. He has murdered trillions, and all that, so... But
this is kind of the revenge that everybody, even in like the movie theaters, is definitely seeking.
Yeah.
Stuff,
but there's still that bittersweetness because it's all like all of them are still gone. And I do love I do actually very much love the twist of him using it a second time to destroy the stones. Like, I think that's actually
so that
interesting.
this is irreversible.
Yeah.
Yep. But all right, we can go on to the next scene.
We can do that.
Which this one is about Paul Rudd. Here we go, our famous Ant-Man. Paul Rudd makes a triumphant return. 5 years after the Thanos snap has passed, Thanos has won, and each of the surviving members of the Avengers are now dealing with what has happened on their own. When Ant-Man returns after he is stuck in the quantum realm, he learns of what has happened and has no idea kind of what's going on, which is very interesting. I've never watched any of the Ant-Man things, so I actually had to have one of my roommates explain it to me in the movie theaters when we were watching this, because I'm like, wait, how is he not snapped? What's going on? Don't quite understand. But it explains it if you watch like his movies, obviously kind of going through. But yeah, I think at the end, I think it's the end of the second movie, it's like him and another person, or him, I don't know. He goes into the quantum realm, but apparently the quantum realm is also immune to the Thanos snap, so it's like he doesn't get snapped at all. But then time still passes, and so what's like, I think seconds for him is like years or something for the outside world. So when he comes back, 5 years has passed and he has no freaking clue what is going on. And is slowly like learning about this. And like you'll see it in the clip. It's like his family literally thinks he got snapped along with like half of humanity.
Yeah.
And we can go ahead and we'll start this up.
And I've seen the first two. I've seen the first and the second one. I know the third movie is not good. A lot of people didn't like it. I'll probably watch it at some point, but I'm not like going to the theaters now to watch Marvel movies. I'll wait until they come out to Disney Plus.
Yeah, honestly, Marvel. I mean, this is what Marvel was building up to, was Endgame.
Yeah.
The fact that Thanos is the big bad person here, and oh, you want to know what I think happens? I think somebody was supposed to pull him back, right? Because he's like, hey, we're gonna have the buttons. Yeah, somebody was supposed to pull him back after this to get him out of the quantum realm, and he gets stuck in here, and he's lucky enough that a mouse steps on the thing and like pulls him back.
So it was the one that did it was Hope. Hope is the Wasp. The second movie is called Ant-Man and the Wasp. So she has the same powers as him, but she can fly.
Yeah.
And she's played by the woman from Lost, who plays one of the leads in Lost, the one main love interest. But also, I love that it's Ben Young. That's Ben Young as the security person.
The guy who plays Chang from Community.
Fuck yeah. Even though he's not saying any lines, he still has the sass with those arms on the hands on the hips.
Yeah, but it's like, this is even more so the fact of like, hey, this is what's happened after like the snap.
Yeah. Well, I know he if I remember correctly, Thanos like made it that he doesn't decide. He didn't decide who like he literally left it up to. He made it a random chance. He literally let the stones or the world choose. I don't know what he decided. Sorry, I just hit my desk. But they so he didn't choose who got taken and stuff like that.
And it's like too, it's like while this is all going on, it's like I'm pretty sure while the world, which I kind of wish maybe the TV shows explain this, but it's like if you're out of the superhero loop, I kind of wish they explained more like what normal people thought happened, during this. It's like, oh, you're having dinner with like your family and half of them just fucking
disappeared
into dust, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? It's like I think in this world everybody's kind of aware that, hey, there are superheroes, magic and powers exist, all this stuff is going on, and it's kind of like it just partakes as like your kind of normal day to day. I feel like maybe Spider-Man, like the animated ones, Into the Spider-Verse, kind of has the best view of that, because Miles is just a normal kid.
Yeah. Who stumbles upon
it, and then
fight.
it's like, oh hey, like other people kind of recognize this, but you get to see a little bit more of like the day-to-day life.
Mm-hmm. But and then for a lot of the people, it's all like it is the day-to-day life. Like literally, like okay, if there's another fight again, like at some point you just get tired of it. So when they do lose and something catastrophic happens, it's all like, oh shit. And I do want to go a little bit in more with the quantum realm. Not in like the actual sense of what the quantum realm is. More on the sense that if you ever watched did you ever watch any of the What Ifs that they released on Disney Plus? Like those episodes?
I've seen clips, but I have never actually watched them.
Okay. I've only watched one, and it was the Marvel Zombies one, and they are releasing an actual show of Marvel Zombies, and I'm so excited for that. But in that What If, the way that the zombie plague gets like started is because of the quantum realm. They go and so at the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp, or actually I guess it's a little bit after this, the reason they're sending Scott into the quantum realm is because they want to try and get Hope's mom, who is stuck in the quantum realm, and she's been stuck in there for like decades. And so like Hope, Scott, and Hope's dad are trying to like go there. And so after the events of this, like after Endgame, they successfully go to the quantum realm and able to get her in this What If. But when they get to her, she's a zombie. And so yeah, like the quantum realm made her a zombie, so like she attacks them and then they escape and go back, but they're bit. Yeah. Well, and it's also interesting because in the Marvel Zombies, the zombies are like, if you're a superpowered being, you're still able to use your superpowers as a zombie.
Very interesting.
Yeah. But I just wanted to go into that because that was fun. But yeah, we can go on to the next clip if we want.
Yeah. So this is the time heist. This is kind of when they all start to kind of come up with ideas of what to do after the fact. After coming back together after like 5 years, the gang tries to pull off the hardest mission they've ever had, which turns out to be a time heist, to take all the Infinity Stones before they were destroyed. And I don't know if you have this clip in here, but hey, stop it. Stop. Knock it off. But basically, if you've ever seen Doctor Strange, it's the wizard that's in there. She who is in charge of the time stone. Actually, her and the Hulk actually start talking about it because he's trying to get the time stone, and she's the one that's in charge of it. And he basically explains that what we're trying to do is take all the time stones from points in like history in the past, grab them, pull them, undo what Thanos has done, and then snap them back at the same point that they were taken. Therefore, it's like any of these branches of like multiverses don't actually pop off and appear. As they have kind of devised this plan to try and like figure out like, oh, hey, maybe this is what we want to do. Because the other thing too with this is like 5 years has passed for the group of heroes to the point where it's like some of them, like Iron Man has started a family, and it's like we can't just go back in time and undo this, because then it's like none of this would have ever happened. It's like some people still have families, some people have moved on with their lives. Everybody's kind of like in this weird point of it's like we can't just go back. And so they devised the plan that it's like, okay, we're not going to go back and change the past, but what we're going to do is take the stones and change the future, so everybody keeps their lives the way that they have, but we're going to bring everybody back. And so this is that clip here.
Yeah, and they also go with time travel logic. They know if they go back to the past and we're just changed it to defeat Thanos, then the future where they need to go back with the time machine never happens. So
Yeah.
it's
And then,
it's the
paradoxical stuff that occurs and happens and all that jazz. I mean, I feel like
it's hard.
I
to
feel
make
like
a
this
time
is
travel.
probably the best way to do time travel because I mean like
Yeah.
even like with Doctor Who, which is a show about time travel, it's very difficult because it's like if like you said there any small thing can change something and you have no clue what it's going to change. If you like move a chair, it could change like somebody's whole like family line to where they're never born. And it's one of those paradoxical things that it's like changing things in the past creates a paradox and you have no clue what's going to happen and you could really screw up stuff like they say here where it's like if you make it to where we change the past to where Thanos never won, then this moment never happened. And it's a like a thing of like if this moment never happened, then Thanos never won and vice versa and like yeah, a whole bunch of crazy stuff that I feel like is too difficult to really go into without having some sort of like hole in your theory.
And so they kind of time travel's a touchy thing to go on. This is my favorite part of the movie. I love the time heist. I know everyone loves the final fight and everything like that, but my favorite part of the movie is just the fucking time heist because I'm all like, this is fun, it's unique, like we haven't had this yet type thing. So but yeah, no. And so this little clip is just the setup for it. So
yeah, that's kind of the setup of to like now everybody's splitting off into the groups. You kind of know who's in it and know what they're gonna do. So this is your favorite part of the movie.
It is my favorite part of the movie. But I forgot that I titled it that. But yeah, I just like the whole section of the time heist. It's also like, how long it is. It's like 40 minutes to an hour for the whole time heist, which is a third of the movie, which is nice.
Yeah, I mean it sets up for everything of like how you now get to Endgame.
Yeah.
The big fight that everybody's been waiting for.
Yeah, and this clip is only for Iron Man's group. I wasn't able to get Black Widow and Hawkeye. I wasn't able to get Thor and Rocket, and I also couldn't get the clip after when it's only Cap and Iron Man when they go to the other time. So which we'll talk about, but
yeah, this is Trey's favorite part. The group of Iron Man, Captain America, and Ant-Man and the Hulk go after 3 different stones in New York 2012. So we see kind of each of them get to their part, which I think Hulk is after the time stone. Who's after the blue stone?
They're after the space stone, which is the Tesseract. And then Captain America goes for the Mind Stone, which is the staff.
Yes. Yeah. So we've got kind of all these things going on, but we'll go ahead and we'll play this clip that'll go through it.
Yeah. I think this might be the it's either the longest or second longest clip, which is only 5 minutes. I've had way longer clips play, but the reason I really love this part is just seeing, like, I don't know, it's just fun going through the moments in Marvel history. And we also
you get the clip of Steve's ass, Captain America's ass.
Of course I did. And it is fun because you see all these people come in
that you know are like
evil, like these guys. And so
Seriously? You didn't? I mean,
and it's just
like bad guys.
You're small, but you're talking loud.
you're small, but you're talking
I love
loud.
Tom Hiddleston.
Tom Hiddleston, he's great.
Yeah, he's so good.
He is. And
All right, you're up, little buddy. There's
I don't know, it's fun seeing like the aftermath of what all this stuff would have been like. Like, obviously, of course, they need to transport the Tesseract and the staff and stuff like that, so. And I think it's also cool seeing Iron Man's suit chain, because if you look at like the
old him versus new him.
Yeah, him having like that nanotech stuff, while him has like literally just has like he literally has to like screw in points into him and or like on his suit.
No, he just on as a secretary.
Okay,
Yeah,
I was gonna say I love this scene.
Yeah, he knows how to play it. They all learned from their mistakes.
They did, yeah.
He's got a call from the secretary.
Well, and it's great that you're all like, oh shit, are we getting the elevator scene again? And then it's actually, no, we're not, which is cool. Hail Hydra. And I think it's actually it is actually fun that they played it differently. Well, and so like when I was watching this for Bring Your Own Subscription, I brought up the fact that him doing that actually like would have actually had way more implications on screwing up the timeline than anything, because now like maybe it would make it that Civil War never happened, because all of those guys would think Captain America is a part of Hydra, so maybe they have Hydra. Yeah, and they have secret meetings with him, and then obviously they're just able to suss out who it is really quickly. So. Which, frankly, if they... I know Chris Evans isn't going to come back, which is fine. I'm fine with all of them, like, having, like, the people that don't want to come back don't come back. It's understandable. But, they should maybe do like a movie or a show with those implications, because like
I like how Loki's the only one that realizes something funky's going on.
Yeah. Well, I like that guy up, like the one to the left of him should have a clear view of the case, but they are all like, oh shit. Just have him look up. He's looking above, maybe for somebody.
And then Loki just freaking disappears after that, and it's
which I have to assume is like the setup for the show Loki, right? You know what? I'll watch it. It has to be. So I'll have to watch it at some point.
Honestly, it's been a while, so I don't remember it, but it's something. No spoilers, but yeah.
This really is just my favorite part, because when you get all like the behind the scenes stuff, it's so much fun, and you get a fun heist out of it. And then, but yeah, we can go on to the next clip because it's still in the time heist section.
Yeah. So this is That's America's Ass.
That is America's ass.
That has been commented on. Captain America gets the staff, but he runs into the past self, who thinks that the future self is Captain America is Loki in disguise, that Loki has now escaped. So a fight breaks out between the two Captain Americas to see who's the more superior one that's in here. But I don't think you have the clips of the other ones, just to give them a rundown. There's the other team that has Nebula, Rocket,
and Rhodey. No, it's Nebula and Rhodey. It's Nebula, Rhodey, and Rhodey, Hawkeye, and Black Widow.
Yeah, so Hawkeye and Black Widow go to get the Soul Stone, and there's a huge fight that breaks out there. Spoilers if you haven't seen it, but I mean, we're already halfway through this. That they start to fight Hawkeye and Black Widow start to fight each other to try and basically suicide themselves off to get the Soul Stone, and they are both
In
fighting
movie.
each other, saying, "No, I have to do it. No, I have to do it." It's like, I lost my whole family. All this other sort of stuff that's going on. And then Natasha's like, well, they're also really closely related, and so it's like, who is going to die? Who's going to do that self-sacrifice to get the Soul Stone? It's this big fight that kind of goes out between the two of them both trying to stop each other and be the first ones to do the self-sacrifice. Eventually you do see the scene where Natasha is the one that is able to actually get the Soul Stone for Hawkeye, and Hawkeye kind of makes it out. And a lot of people realize that after this moment of getting the Soul Stone, it's kind of like you can't bring her back. That through all this like time struggle and stuff that they're doing, you can't return the Soul Stone to get a soul back. Once it has happened, that's kind of it.
I will say though, the correct answer was just Black Widow. I'm sorry. Like Hawkeye has like a family and all that, and while Natasha has, obviously Black Widow has a maid family, she doesn't have like a spouse and kids that she should be there to raise for.
And I think as well, I think he had killed a lot of people, that it's like this is like not necessarily his redemption, but it's like this is his, what he believed would be like his self-sacrifice. Is like, I've killed a lot of people, I've lost my family, I know that you'll take care of them because you're the good family friend, and this is kind of my redemption of like killing a whole bunch of people that I probably didn't need to kill, but I did out of anger and stuff. But then like the other group as well that's going through this, that's going to get
Power Stone.
What's the other stone?
It's
the Power Stone. The stones, the colorful, pretty gems that are out there. They go through this. Basically follows, I think, the beginning part of. Oh God, what is that movie called? The one with Star-Lord in it. Guardians of the Galaxy. It goes through that part of it, and there's some cute, like, fun little like jabber and stuff that goes on between of them. Like, oh, Star-Lord, it really is an idiot, isn't he, and stuff. And so it goes through that. They try to get the Power Stone, but what ends up happening is the Nebulas, I think they fight each other in this, don't they? I watched it a while ago, and now I'm like, my memory is
they
like,
don't
fried.
Fight, but they have like this weird connection that's going on. I don't get how that. I think they just needed it doesn't make sense.
It's weird. I think it's because they're like almost like automatons.
Yeah,
they have like almost like a wireless connection that it's like they're able to like transfer, I guess, like memories and stuff, which kind of makes me wonder if they've built other daughters of Nebula before.
Maybe.
Who knows?
They needed to do a better job explaining that.
Yeah, they don't do a great job at explaining it. But anyway, so there's a connection, and then it's like the Nebula of that timeline, who's still the enemy and is with Thanos, learns what's going on. And Thanos, this is kind of where you get to see like the wheels of like, oh, he knows what happens. He's starting to understand something else is going on at this point in time. But this is the other scene of like Captain America's fighting each other. So we'll go ahead and we'll watch that. There's a lot of stuff that goes on that it's like, this movie is very, very like, even though it's like very time heavy, there's like several moving parts because there's so many characters.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people probably question, like, because Nebula doesn't just leave. Like, she was about to go back to the future, but she doesn't. That part I don't care, like, that part I don't care about. I understand the reasoning why she doesn't go back is because they're back in time, which means once she figures out that, oh, she knows Thanos knows their plan, means that Thanos can go in the past, go and kill the Avengers. Like,
yeah.
So that I don't mind.
I was drinking some drink from my cup, and then my face got stuck to my ceramic mug, and I had to pull it apart. I'm like, hold on, wait a second.
The biggest like what moment for me with this is like, or with like the Nebula stuff, it isn't that she doesn't go back to the future. It's
she gets stuck, isn't it?
No, she's not. She doesn't get stuck. She could go back. She just doesn't because she knows she needs to be able to. Because she's in the past, and she knows that Thanos knows their plan. That means Thanos can go and kill them early, like go and kill Earth
and just stop
way
them
earlier before they can plan. But the big thing for that is just how quick, like the only, like my big thing with that is just that Thanos is able to like infer everything or deduct everything that's
so
going
quickly.
to happen. Yeah, so quickly from like 2 fucking memory looks. And I'm all like, the hell? Like, how do you?
Yeah, I feel like it's a kind of thing of where maybe he's full of himself, and it's kind of like, oh, I succeeded, and it's like, of course I did. I knew I was gonna do this from the beginning, and it's like, this is the result of me succeeding.
Yeah,
it's because I like he says, he is inevitable. He will always be there. I think I feel like that's probably what it is that they were playing into, which maybe they could have done it a little bit more.
They could,
but it's like where even in the beginning he says like, I am inevitable, and then it's like, you know, the Avengers kill him in the very like first like 5 minutes of the movie, and then it's like you get to the scene where it's like he's figuring out stuff, and he's like, yeah, I always win, and it's like people cannot come to terms with my actions.
I think just like the big complaint about that is that he like instantly knows that it's a nebula from the future. How the hell do you think that? Like,
actually, I think he figured. It's been a while since I watched this movie, even though we watched it recently. I think what ended up happening is I think when they did like end up capturing her, they realized he had different upgrade parts.
Yeah,
it's like there were parts of her that hadn't been upgraded to the past nebula, and then they realized, oh, this is a different one. He's more robotic than you are. I think that's when they kind of.
Well, no, the thing is that he kind of.
It's also.
I don't know.
Oh,
it's
sorry,
hard
go
to.
ahead.
I was just gonna say, because he like figures it out after the first like hologram projection, like when he's like they're talking when it's the projection of Rhodey on the planet saying, hey, we're getting the time stone or whatever. That's when he kind of figures it out. So that's like the weird. I don't know. I think they just needed to do a better job of explaining that, but I understand they just wanted a big fight scene at the end. So
yeah, I was gonna say it's also a three-hour movie, and it's the fact that this is the end. That if they were to do another one, I feel like it'd be dragging it out too much. So there's a couple of plot holes in here, but I think it's still a pretty good movie. But
the answer is they wanted a big fight scene at the end, but we killed Thanos in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, so how do you
we need him to come back.
All right. Yeah, so the next one is 3 versus 1. So easy. They succeeded in stealing all the stones, but the past Thanos knows about their plan. Due to all these things that are kind of going on, them messing with the timeline, obviously mistakes were made. And so what he decides to do is he actually comes to the future to try and stop them. As he said, he is inevitable. You cannot stop what he is trying to do. So a fight breaks out between Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America, needing to stop and defeat Thanos. Which, let's see. Okay, so the crazy thing that leads up to this, right, is what ends up happening, and please correct me if my memory is wrong, they get all the stones, they build a fake Thanos gauntlet to do this with, and they are able to snap, I think, everybody back in.
Yeah, so
at
Hulk
this point.
does it.
So
because
yeah. So Hulk
because
does
they
it
have the
he's,
same
like, strong enough.
radiation. They have the same
Mhm.
radiation, so
Yeah. So he's able to do this, and it's like the movie is going well. It's like you don't really know when this movie's going to end. You're not really sure, but it's like they've reached their end goal, right? Of saving everybody, and they're like, okay, well, did we do it? We're not really sure. And so they're in their like hideout, and because Thanos knows this and is coming to the future to stop them, all you see is this. Everything's like kind of going well. I think there's like some nice like soft music. All you see is this giant beam of light hit this place, and the whole entire place blows up. Everybody in the
it is
movie
pretty
theater
cool.
was like, what the fuck is going on? It was crazy. It was so silent during these scenes. And so the area that you're in is like the Avengers headquarters. Everybody's like scattered kind of throughout. There's rubble that's everywhere. Nobody's really sure who's alive and who's dead. And so they realize that Thanos has come back from the past to the future, time shenanigans, to try and stop them from doing this. And basically, I think he says it in here, but he's like, you know what? Since you guys can't handle this, I'm going to then like decide who lives and dies. I will re-snap everybody who came back to dust, and I will probably take out the whole planet with you guys because you guys cannot come to terms with my decision. This is supposed to better you guys, and you guys aren't letting it do it. But
yeah. That was all good. The only thing I'm gonna add is so during the time heist, as we saw in the video, Loki got the space stone, the one that teleports you places. So Captain America and Iron Man come up with a plan B. They both realize that they know a place where they can get Pym particles, which is the stuff they use to time travel. It's like the Ant-Man's shrinking and growing thing. Mm. And they know where a place where the Tesseract is. At the same time, so they don't even need to go anywhere different. And then they remember, so what they do is they go to an army base, which was a S.H.I.E.L.D. Hidden facility, and basically they sneak in, they steal, Iron Man steals the Tesseract while Captain America goes and gets the Pym particles, and they both have different interactions. Captain America sees his beloved from the 70s, Captain Carter, or Agent Carter, and then Iron Man meets his father. He has a talk with his father, and has like, sorry about the dogs.
You're good.
So Iron Man like has a conversation with his father, and both of them talk about their children, because obviously Iron Man has a kid now, and they talk about how both of them were so scared to have a kid, and both of them worrying that the kid was going to end up like them, and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because it's a really sweet
yeah,
scene.
that's another good scene that appears in there. But
also,
there's a lot of stuff that goes on in this movie.
Also, Yvette Nicole Brown cameos, who was, what's her? All of a sudden, I'm blanking on her name. Shirley. She was Shirley in Community. So.
Yeah.
Now we can actually start the clip.
Yeah. So this is after their place gets blown up, too.
Yeah. This one we're not going to probably talk as much more about. It's just a really cool fight scene.
It's so cool, and it's
it is. Like
Thor doing some crazy stuff because he's got two, like, what are they called? They're Mjolnir, I believe.
Mjolnir and
Mjolnir.
God Killer, I believe.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I do love that he takes Mjolnir with him. He's all like, I like that he was, okay, I love, Thor's, like, whole arc, this entire, movie. I love that he has PTSD about the whole situation. I love that he literally just goes through a crisis and he becomes thick. But yeah, I just love that so much. And this scene,
Also the fact, yeah, people went
like,
fucking crazy.
yeah.
They're like, finally, he can actually have the hammer.
I think that was a cool thing. I don't think they ever needed to actually do that,
No,
but it's
they
nice
didn't,
that they did.
but yeah.
But
Oh yeah, and then the fact that he uses his shield is like, and this is so cool.
Well, and the really cool thing about this fight is that this is obviously the 4th Avengers movie. And so they've worked with each other plenty of times, and so it's so cool seeing how much all their tech has changed to like suit each other's needs. Like the intro being Iron Man getting electrocuted by Thor to like get extra power and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
is pretty
there's
cool.
a lot of synergy that they've started to pick up on.
Yeah.
And I love the fact of how his vibranium shield is just cracking.
Yeah, which means he must have like a vibranium sword or something even stronger than vibranium.
Something just as strong. Everybody was so upset. It's like the Avengers are getting their fucking asses handed to them. At this point, and it's crazy.
I mean, it's to show how big of a threat Thanos is. I mean, he always was, but these last few scenes are a great culmination of everything they did for the last few decades, so
yeah. And these kind of final scenes too is like during this fight with Thanos, these guys have no clue if what they did actually worked.
yeah.
They have no clue. It's kind of a guessing of like, okay, I hope everybody's back.
Yeah.
Ooh, where is everyone? And so, during this time, it's like they're fighting Thanos, hoping that what they did actually worked.
Yeah, and one thing I do like about this movie is showing how much more powerful Thanos is than any of the Avengers, even the
like
Hulk.
Even 5 years after.
Yeah, and I'm only saying the Hulk in that Thanos was able to snap the gauntlet twice, and that's when he got all that scarring on. But with the Hulk, literally the one time he snaps is where his like whole body just like gets burnt. So he's even stronger than him in that aspect.
Yeah. It's crazy how strong you realize like Thanos actually is. And it takes like an entire army in order to beat him, which is crazy. And that's kind of what we'll see in the next scene too.
Yeah. It's just a fun scene. Like,
oh, it is. This scene's really cool. This is the moment where you learn out that the time heist worked. And all the people that were blipped away are finally able to come back, and now it is the time for the two armies to duke it out to see who will be able to win. And this is like the major crossover that everybody has been dreaming of. You got like everybody from every movie comes in here. You've got like a whole bunch of stuff. Like this movie, I'm sure took a lot of fucking CGI just to get through. Like all of it is green screen, and it's a pretty crazy scene that talks for itself. So we can go ahead. We'll play it and chit chat.
I do want to talk about one moment in this particular battle, mainly because you are a woman. I want your point of view on one particular moment.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Okay, I think I need a woman's perspective on that. Look at her. I love. I miss Chadwick Boseman. He was so good. I love Chadwick.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure, like, the Avengers were about to get their asses like again handed to them, and they were actually going to lose. And then you now see everybody's coming through. And Doctor Strange is able to, across every like universe and every dimension, come through, and you get to see Spider-Man come through. And I'm gonna be honest,
Spider-Man.
Tom Holland's death was the
Was
saddest
sad.
thing in the whole fucking world.
It
Because
gets you.
here's something I didn't realize. It's like everybody didn't really know what was happening to them, and it's like they kind of faded away. Spider-Man has such good senses that it's like it's a danger sense. And
Yeah.
like minutes before like he basically gets turned to dust, he feels what is going
That's
on.
hope,
And
just
it's like
so you
his
know.
entire body is like basically freaking
Going
out,
off,
telling him
yeah.
he's going to die. And it's like he feels this when everybody else didn't, and it fucking sucks. And you can see it. Tom Holland did a great job in performance on this, of to where he's like, I don't feel so good. And he's like, and it's the whole entire thing of where it's like he lasts longer before Tony Stark is like gone, and it's kind of like, you know, the mentor and the student kind of together, and he goes, I don't want to go.
Yeah.
And it just fucking hurt my
It's
heart because he
sad.
was so
It's
cute,
so
and
sad.
I'm like, please don't do this to the poor innocent baby boy.
And I do like,
Oh, yeah.
hey Graphic, how you doing? I do like that they finally, it's the last movie, we'll do the Avengers Assemble, and I kind of like that he kind of went a little bit quiet with it. He didn't yell it out or anything like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, this whole final fight scene's great. One moment's questionable, but
Yeah.
but it's just so cool, and especially to start it off, like literally you have it that you just have Captain America being the only one there, and he's still all like gonna fight this whole army because he needs to, and then you just hear the on your left was great. So
No, give me that.
I also
You have-
love that too, the fact
Yeah.
that like they can both use them interchangeably, and
Yeah.
Thor's like, no, you don't get
No,
the
you
cool
get the
one.
little
That
one."
one's mine.
Well, and I do like the detail that Thanos was able to use the God Killer, because it wasn't imbued with Odin's oath. So that's like, so it doesn't have that restriction, so anybody can use it.
God, their
The-
relationship is so good.
It is
Ugh,
good.
my heart.
I do love how it took, like, how Spider-Man's story goes after, like, Far From Home and No Way Home. I'm kind of glad that they're back to the normal Spider-Man, but this wasn't bad.
Yeah. No, I like the turn that they did and they took from it.
Okay, now we gotta talk about this idiot. Okay. Fucking hate this man. Okay? Not the actor, I hate the character. This man is so dumb in Infinity War. Oh my god. They literally, they had it. They could have won, and then of course he has to say Gamora, and that just riles him the fuck up in Infinity War. It's just, oh my god. I don't. The scene's not on there that I wanted to ask you about.
Oh, is
Do
that
you know?
okay? Is that the
Give
girl
me what
power one?
Girl power, yeah.
Okay, so there's a right way to do it and there's a wrong way to do it, and I feel like they didn't. What they wanted to do did not come across really well, because it's like one of those things of like, oh, we have to showcase like all these strong, powerful like women like heroes doing all the cool things that like the guys are doing. I'm like, no, just show them like side by side. Like there is the scene where it was like Iron Man and I think her name's like Penny, isn't it? Pepper.
Pepper, yeah.
Him and Pepper are in like the suits and they're fighting, and I'm like, that is good to show in the same scene the equivalence of like, hey, they're both two different characters, but they're fighting in sync and they're doing the exact same thing. That is what I like. I don't like the fact where it's like, oh, we need a whole separate scene of just like women doing like their own thing. I'm like, no, like show them to the counterpart that they have, and show them that they're doing it better than the guy or something like that. Like show it either like there's great teamwork, or if you want it to be like a powerful woman scene, then show them being better than the other guy or something like
Yeah.
that. Like have them do like really cool fucking like backflips and shit and taking out more guys or something. I don't know. Make it playful, but at the same time you can make it powerful. And it's like you don't have to specifically be like, okay, we're gonna have a scene, all these women are gonna be in here. This is the girl power moment. I'm like, you can do that in like such better ways to emphasize the point that you are trying to get across, to where you don't have to do a very obvious kind of like scene that's there. It
Most
was one of those
definitely.
things where I did not care for it.
There's 2 points, but like, yeah, I didn't care for it. I think a lot of people didn't care for it. I just wanted to still, obviously, I just wanted to get your opinion as well with it. The 2 points that I want to talk about with that scene in particular. One, we already got really cool, like in this fight. We like, first of all, we already know all these women are strong and powerful. We've seen countless movies where they do that. Like, they're already strong and powerful. Like, we've seen like every one of those women do something in that like in a way better way. But not only that, in this freaking like in this fight scene, we see multiple times of just them being strong and powerful, just going up with the men as well. Like, literally, what we saw Valkyrie on her horse just diving into the enemies. We got the scene with Wanda versus literally holding back Thanos already. And then literally right before that scene with like the girl power scene, you literally have Captain Marvel coming down and destroying Thanos' ship in 1 second. Like, and also also fighting Thanos on her own. So like, I don't know, it's just a really cheesy thing to add.
Yeah, it definitely felt not genuine, which
No.
I mean, it's Marvel, whatever. They could have
Yeah.
done it a lot with it. There's issues with it that I feel like obviously maybe they'll learn from.
Yeah.
You can do it in a better way.
Oh,
There
yeah.
are plenty of other movies out there that are action packed that have that moment where like they have strong feminine like power, and they do it way better. You don't need to just like oust it and pinpoint it.
No. And the second point I wanted to bring up is that you can have a scene like that, but you gotta realize most people are gonna think it's like a joke. I think they just went, they like tried to make it like a serious scene. But you can have those moments. Have you seen The Boys on Amazon?
Yes, I've seen parts of it. I haven't seen like
Okay.
the newest stuff, but
I think it's in the 2nd season. They have literally, they make fun of basically that scene. They have they like are doing a photo shoot with all the women superheroes, or like no, they're filming basically what is their Avengers, and they have the women all come together in like a scene that they're filming, and they're all like, because women get it done, and you could clearly tell it's all a joke. Like, that's the entire point. And then later on in the season, they have Starlight, who said that line in the weird scene, say it again when all the women go and kick like an evil villain's ass, as like, and it was like actually a better scene. Like, it's actually like, oh hey, there you go. That's how you should use it.
That's how you should use it.
Yeah.
No, that's whatever. But
yeah, still a great fight scene. But
yeah. And this is our last scene, the ending of
yeah,
the end of the movies, and end of a couple different superheroes here. Bye Iron Man. Spoiler warnings. Iron Man dies. But as the two armies are fighting, and everybody's trying to get the Infinity Stones, to set the past right, get everything that their goal has been, they try to get it to go through the time machine, but the time machine is destroyed, so they come up with a new plan. So the original plan to get the stones back away from Thanos isn't working. And this is the scene that explains a whole new plan that it has to come up with of like, what do we do? How do we stop Thanos now? And we can go ahead and we'll play this up.
Yeah. I do love that the other time machine is just in a van.
Mm-hmm.
That part is funny. I love that. And I love that Ant-Man's all like, wait, we have another time machine. La cucaracha, la cucaracha.
Yeah. Yeah, and so what you see there as well with Iron Man and Doctor Strange is like Doctor Strange in the other movies, if you've seen it, went through a whole bunch of timelines, and it's like him and Iron Man look at each other and they have this thing of like, what the hell do we do? And he says, this is the one timeline that is right.
Yeah. He essentially checked out millions and millions of different times. And in it all, Thanos wins except for one time, and he tells them that they won one time. And so earlier in this movie, like at the start of this fight, Iron Man asks Doctor Strange, is this the one? And he's all like, I can't tell you, otherwise it changes or it won't happen. And then in that scene, obviously he has all the time stones, so but Doctor Strange holds up that one because he's all like, this is it. You need to do
the end.
Yeah, you need to do this. Like and through this whole time you hear Iron Man say, I can't lose what I got. Like I gained so much after this. Like I can't lose my family and everything like that. But sadly to basically make his family continue living and have all of his friends continue to live on, he needs to sacrifice himself. So this was a great way to have like a hero sacrifice moment and not have it be kind of played out
already. Not have it be dumb or like played out and corny and stuff. Like, this is the end to an era. They won, and there are some costs that it took. You know, Black Widow died. Iron Man sacrificed himself to die to defeat Thanos. And I feel so bad because Tom Holland comes in here, I think, too, and is like, hey, we did it, we won. And it's basically a reversal of the scene that played out with the two of them, to where now
I did love that they have Rhodes come in and talk to him. They didn't have Captain America, they didn't have anyone else like who are good friends with Tony.
It's
they
like
had Rhodes.
The two closest kind of people that are there.
Yeah. I will say with Pepper, I love that first of all, Tony's still making suits because he likes his suits, but he's making one for his wife, and you get to see her wear it at this end battle. So
yeah,
Tom Holland's great. I love Tom Holland.
Yeah, and this is kind of the self-sacrificing scene that you realize there aren't going to be any more Iron Man movies after this.
Yeah. Well, they'll have Iron. I think it's Ironheart is they're doing next.
I think so. Yeah.
Which is.
I mean, it's also a really good thing is these movies have been going on for a while, and I know me and some of my coworkers were talking about this stuff. Is like when you're an actor and you land that great, gig, like
Mhm.
Robert Downey Jr. did with Iron Man and how Hugh Jackman did with Wolverine. It's like you play these characters for so long, you eventually like you become them. It's a part of you. And it's like you can't really do much else work because of these main characters that you play. And it's like the
Yeah.
same thing with like the two actors that played in Supernatural who played Sam and Dean. It's like
Ooh, yeah.
they play those characters for years. And it's like only until they end these series or these shows that these actors are a part of do they really get to go out and experience other roles and other movies. And it's like you kind of see the end of an era. I mean, the same thing with Captain America. You see him at the very end kind of get when he takes back these stones and everybody's taking back the stones. It's like everybody takes them back to the original timeline, puts them back where they were, and then comes back. Captain America is the only one who does it, and he is actually able to spend the years that he lost with Carter, and he grows
Yeah.
old and he is
I
no
love that.
longer Captain America. And it's like that, and I think those two, there's a lot of very fitting ends for iconic characters in Avengers that they did a really good job with. That it's like they're not just cheesy deaths, like every death means something. Every end to the character means something, and now it's like you're looking at the survivors. How are these people going to move on? It's like the actors as well can kind of put away in their closet too these characters that they've played for so long, and if they wanted to do something else, you know, they could. Because I'm sure as well, I don't actually know who gets to decide if it's the writers or the actor that says, hey, after this movie I don't really want to do anymore, my contract is up, and then they write that in there, these things. Or if it's the writers that are like, hey, we think this is a really good fitting end to your character, you know, are you okay with maybe like not playing him anymore? Because the same thing is with like Hugh Jackman and Wolverine, is that he does cameos, but he doesn't really do movies anymore because he's done them for a really long time.
Except Ryan Reynolds got him back for Deadpool 3, and that'll be great.
Yeah.
And probably will be the last time for Wolverine. But
yeah, that'll
that's
probably
all right.
be the last time. But yeah, no, I think Avengers Endgame
is a fitting end.
It is
it's
a very fitting end, and it's kind of like you see where all of Marvel, where Marvel put all their like ducks. You know, this is kind of it, and it's like the movies that come after and the TV shows, they're good and they're like entertaining, but they're not. Like everybody knew what these were leading up to because they followed the comics. You knew who the next enemy was going to be. That Thanos was the big bad, and the Avengers and like Infinity Wars. This is where everything's leading to. That it's like all the stuff that's following this. You're not really sure where it's going.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of the issue is that after this, Marvel doesn't do as well anymore. I feel like.
Yeah, a lot of their movies haven't been doing too well. They're trying to do like a Kang the Conqueror thing, but then you have like obviously just people, like different people and all that. They're trying, but from what I can tell, they are trying. But it's just it hasn't panned out yet. I don't think they've committed exactly where they want their storyline to go, and it's hard when you have like 5 different movies that are being filmed all at once. So
5 different movies that are being filmed all at once. It's like now everybody has their own independent storyline. All these things are kind of going crazy, and it's like, well, what is the next big thing that you build up to? It's like everybody knew this is what everybody wanted. Now what do you do? The one thing I will say that I'm kind of hoping for, which I don't know if Tom Holland is still continuing to do Spider-Man or not, but I would really love to see like a Deadpool movie like after Wolverine that has Spider-Man in there, because I love the freaking comics. The comics between the two of them are like so great. And so like there's some stuff that I think Marvel can do with the stuff that they have. It's just they have to play their cards right and they can't make it cheesy, because I'm pretty sure what they tried to do with She-Hulk did not turn out well. And it's like it's very hard to live up to the same standards that you do for Avengers and like keep trying to play that up. You know?
Most definitely. But I do want to go a little bit after that. Like, obviously, Iron Man scene is very sad. I do very much love what they did for Captain America, his ending. I'm so happy they gave him a happy ending after all this time. And not only that, got to be with Carter, which does make me think that maybe there is some bad parts to that, because I'm assuming that he obviously didn't mess up the timeline, then I'm assuming he has to be the person that he gets with Carter and has the kid, but then when he gets unfrozen, he hits on what would be essentially his granddaughter. So that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But that's fine. It's all right. Time travel shenanigans clearly end up in incest all the time by accident. But it was a sweet ending, to be truthful. Just a little bit weird, but
yeah.
But yeah.
No, I think it's a good finale to a very long time coming series of movies.
I do
stories.
too.
So no.
Yeah. Well,
but that is it for our 2 movies this week: The Devil Wears
right?
Prada and Avengers Endgame.
Yeah, let me just boot up the wheel so we can figure out what we got technically next week, since we're gonna have to do both of these. Gonna spin it. Let's see. Oh, I forgot to show. There we go. See? First movie is the Mario movie. Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, no.
No?
No, not the Mario movie. Oh.
Did you not like that movie? Or?
I've heard.
It's good.
Heard that it's not a good movie.
I thought he was talking about the animated movie. I think he was talking about the animated movie, not the...
The animated? Wait.
The animated, not the live action.
Okay.
Maybe. Now I gotta ask.
Is that the one with Chris Pratt?
Yeah, it has Chris Pratt, but that one's actually really good.
Is it? I've heard that
it is.
Oh, I've heard mixed things about it.
I liked it.
Okay. Maybe. We'll see. I've never seen it, so we'll have to give it a little. We'll give it a test. Yeah. No.
Well, I will be doing bring your own subscriptions. If you want to watch, you can join. I'll work around your time schedule. Oh, and we get your name.
Wait,
never seen it.
I think I've seen that one. I think. God damn it! I think this one's sad. Fuck. All the anime movies that are good are fucking like they're tear jerkers, and I fucking can't.
That's fine. It's fine. We're gonna have a good time.
Okay.
All right, let me get the trailers all booted up, and I'll send you them. Send you the links.
Send me the trailer.
Let's see. The YouTubes. And these are 2 actual like modern movies, so.
Yeah, they came out pretty recently.
Trailer.
Okay, well you get those up. I'm actually gonna go ahead and end my stream because after this,
sounds good.
I got a whole bunch of stuff to do. I'll be right back.
Yep, you're all good. How's everyone doing? I hope you guys are doing good. Also, the graphic, I'm sorry, you're having trouble with the, with that mission. I hope you get to pass it soon. It is a tough one. I remember I think I needed my friend to help me out with it. Okay. Link. Paste there. There we go. And now we wait. I'm sorry you're having so much trouble with that boss fight. I had the same. It's a tough one. I had the same thing happen. So. But I'm hoping that you'll be able to beat him soon. It just takes time. It's hard doing the, you also have to keep moving, otherwise you get killed. So it's like it's a whole thing, for sure. But you got this. I believe in you. I hope you guys enjoyed this movie club. It was a lot of fun. Got the trailers to watch, so. Yeah. I know it was a long one, but it was a good one. I enjoyed this one a lot. I like when my stream doesn't say the title of the thing for whatever reason.
Okay, cool deal. I am done. We're back.
Okay. I sent you the links. So
Beautiful.
We'll watch them, and then I'll end stream, and then it'll be good.
Alright. I am ready when you are.
Perfect.
Mario
Alright.
first, right?
Yeah, Mario first. So 3, 2, 1. So you haven't seen this movie?
No, I haven't seen it. I saw the trailer and I know they make a joke about the accents, but there's a meme going around as well that Chris Pratt is now voicing a whole bunch of like animated characters now.
He is
and he's
voicing
like the main part of them.
He is voicing Garfield. That is not.
Yeah.
That one's not a joke. I like it. This is actually a good movie. I'm not a big fan of Chris Pratt.
I will say,
but...
what's his name? Oh my God, Jack Black plays
yeah,
Bowser, and so I am excited for that.
Ooh. I might have to do a very long bring your own subscription. Maybe I just watch all 4 movies. Yeah, that's gonna be a long one. But I kind of need to. Well, I don't think we have many days.
For which one?
Oh, I think I'm gonna watch all 4 of them. I gotta watch.
Oh God.
Yeah. Because I gotta watch Bullet Train. I gotta watch. What was the other one besides Bullet Train? As you can see,
it was
I remember
Bullet Train.
Paddington. It was Paddington.
Paddington, Super Mario, and
Super Mario and Your Name. So I gotta watch all of those by next week. So we might have a special long bring your own subscription, guys. Probably on Tuesday. I'll try to see if people can at least pop in for a bit and watch the movies with us. But I like this movie. It was good.
I could probably do. I don't know. It depends. My schedule recently has been like super wonky and has been like all over the place. But I'll try.
It's all good. It's all good. Seeing as how I'm gonna probably watch 4 movies back to back, I think I got about 8 hours. So you know, if you want to show up for like an hour, oh hell yeah, let's listen to the Hex Girls' greatest hits. I'll listen to that after this. I love those songs. Don't worry about it.
Have I seen your name? Actually, I don't know.
I haven't. So
we'll watch the trailer and then I can determine whether or not I've seen this movie.
Sounds good. Okay, ready? 3,
Yep.
2, 1. I guess I clicked the dubbed one. I probably will watch this subbed, but do you watch anime movies? And oh, guys, wait, did that say June 7th? We gotta order our tickets.
Right.
Alrighty, perfect. Well, thank you so much, Alligator, for coming on. I always appreciate it.
It's no problem, man.
You always have great I always have great discussions with you, so I'm excited to.
Oh, that's good. Sometimes I feel like I talk too much, but you know, please stop me if I do.
No, I don't mind at all. I always talk too much, so it's nice having someone else to talk more with.
No,
I always
that's
feel
good.
as
Okay.
I feel as though I talk too much and that people like are scared to talk like doing it. So, but I try to encourage. I'm all like, it's all right to like interrupt, like literally just interrupt me if you got something to say, or even if it's like after I'm done with my rant, you have something you want to say, just jump on in. I'm totally fine. I'll talk and talk. So, because I love movies, so I can talk about them for hours. As you can see, we've talked about for 3.5 hours, so not including all the other movie clubs we've done. But yeah, no. Well, I'm excited for both. I'm like actually excited for all 4 movies. I love the Mario movie, and the other 3 I've heard amazing things about. So I'm really excited. Wait.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna deafen real quick, just do a little outro, and then I'll be back in a second.
Well,
so,
I gotta go ahead and
you gotta go
pop
ahead.
off.
Okay,
So
that's all good.
yeah, I gotta go. I got so much stuff I gotta do. But I've been procrastinating with, so
I know.
that is no. You're all good. Enjoy the rest of your time, chat. Have a good one. Bye bye.
Bye bye. See ya.
Bye.
All right. Okay, guys, that was a lot of fun. I'm gonna probably write out to emo if she's streaming, because that's always fun. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know these are long talks, but I'm glad that you guys are coming to watch them. I really enjoy it, and I love talking about movies and TV and all that, so I can talk about them for hours. But. And don't forget, and I know I talk a lot, and I know the others talk a lot. I'll try, if you guys have questions or anything, please put them in the chat. I'll answer them. I'm totally fine doing that. Like if you ever have a question about a movie or anything like that, I'll definitely answer. I know I didn't get to you too much graphic. I know you were talking about Destiny and stuff like that, and I would I try to talk more and be more interactive with the audience, but unless it's like on the topic that we're talking about, it's a lot harder to do. Honestly, I was just like playing Destiny. That's all good. That's good. I'm fine with lurkers. I very much enjoy lurkers, but yeah, if you guys ever have questions or anything like that, and especially if it's a good one, I'll say it out to everybody. Maybe we can all come together with an answer. But yeah, and this was a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me do the raid. Let's see. Scrolling through. It will probably be emo, cause she's back on the Genshin Impact grind. Alright, yeah, let's do it. I'm gonna be doing that on Monday. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. I'll be back tomorrow with Old School Saturday. We're playing Disney Epic Mickey. So I'll try and finish that up in one stream. But alright, see you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. See ya.